on, everybody? Welcome back to the Project Manga Podcast, where we cover Sakamoto Days, Mission Yozakura Family, Jujutsu Kaisen, My Hero Academia, and One Piece, week to week. Back this week covering Weekly Shonen Jump issue number 30. I am your host, Igudu.
Nox.
And I'm Mello.
And as always, before we get started tonight, go ahead and take a look in the description box down below where you can find links to any and all of our individual social media accounts, such as Twitter, online communities like Discord, audio listening platforms to consume the podcast on. And if you want to support what we do directly, even more so than what you do in terms of watching already, you can find a link to our Patreon in the description box as well. And check out the different tiers we have there. There's a lot of cool things there that you'll see. So check that out. And one more thing before we get started, you'll notice obviously there's still not a sixth show on the roster. So keep commenting down below, in the comment section, what show or what series rather you would like to see on the show for coverage. Hit our Twitter account up, the official Project Manga Twitter account. Let us know in the Discord, whatever avenues you want to let us know, we will receive that. So just let us know. Keep letting us know.
Yes.
Anyways, also like the video and subscribe to the channel for more fire weekly content if you haven't already.
Yeah.
Anyways, before we get started, as always, we'll talk about what we thought of the Week in Jump in general. So Nox, what'd you think of the week in general? What do you think was the strongest chapter?
Yeah, it's light, obviously. We don't have any One Piece for a month, and we still don't have a sixth show, but I thought that the week was still potent inside of what we are covering. I think the strongest chapter for me this week is My Hero Academia. Yeah, I think My Hero Academia. Well, I mean, like Jujutsu Kaisen was the tightest chapter, but My Hero Academia was like the most like impactful to me. Like it hit me like the hardest just with the content involved. But yeah, I'm definitely going My Hero, at least for now.
Yeah. Mello, how about you?
It was a toss-up because I really thought that, like, My Hero, great emotional impact. And then I thought the Sakamoto Days was, like, a pretty close one just because it just flowed really well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it felt like a really... What's the phrase? Like a great example of what Sakamoto is. Like, you're like, hey, if I had to show you what this show... Like, if you had to show me, like, one chapter of what this series is about... What is it? Yeah. And I need you to hook me on it.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, boom, here, this chapter right here. Just check this out. Yeah. Gives nothing to do with like the actual plot, but like would be enough to draw you in and be like, oh, this is a cool series. I'll start from the beginning.
You get a good example of like how characters interact in the series overall with like some like kind of a quid pro quo relationship between Shin and Natsuki, and then you get a great example of the combat or how the combat works, or at least in terms of
no, you're right. It is a good example of Sakamoto Days as a series for sure. I feel like a lot of chapters in Sakamoto Days be like that, like in a vacuum, but like this one was like super strong in that way.
Just like a very Sakamoto day,
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah. What about you, Eagle?
Man, for me, it was a toss up, honestly, between like Jujutsu Kaisen, My Hero, and Yozakura Family. Honestly, only because in Yozakura Family, man, this is a big chapter, and I love that we got to meet a couple more of the gold rank spies. And see some of their personality. So it was up there for me. If I had to narrow it down, honestly, let me thumb through the My Hero chapter real quick here. Like if I had to narrow it down, I mean I would narrow it down to JJK and My Hero, unfortunately for Yozakura.
Hey man, sometimes like other chapters are just that much more potent, even if the other chapters are still great. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But if I had to pick one between the two of those, I would honestly choose JJK. Just because, like, again, I feel this was a great chapter that gives you like, if you had to show somebody like, or maybe not the series overall.
I've met Twitter. I don't know.
If somebody asked, like, how do the fights work in this?
Yeah, you could grab any page from this fight, or this chapter.
This is a great example of like the high level of intelligence and tactical fucking, maneuvers that you see within fights in Jujutsu Kaisen, at least high level fights.
Mhm.
This chapter was so fucking fun.
So
It's
good.
like someone's like, oh man, I watched all of Hunter x Hunter on Netflix. What do I do? It's like, hey, have you tried Jujutsu Kaisen?
Right.
It's got this kind of stuff. You like this kind of stuff?
Yeah, type shit.
You like this kind of stuff.
Yeah, you do.
That's funny.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I think with all that said, we might as well just kind of jump right into things, right?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
First chapter of the night, Sakamoto Days. Sakamoto Days. Wow.
Sakamoto.
Sakamoto. 76, chapter 76, each one's mission.
Yeah.
And
color pages bussin'.
yeah,
Color
color
page
page
is
definitely
hilarious.
busting. We got big fucking gang vibes on the squad here. Taro and Shin right up front. Motherfucking Heisuke in the back. And I love
see-
that they must have read, they must have been socially aware of what went down with Tokyo Revengers. And
Oh,
they're
sure.
like, right on the first page, the manji symbol on the previous page is used to mark the location of Buddhist temples in Japan. It is
Yeah.
not.
Mhm.
Even outside
yeah,
even outside of Tokyo Revengers, like this is the English like localization or translation or whatever for this shit, and that's just like a completely different symbol in our like country or whatever. So they're like,
Oh,
just
absolutely.
in case, you know what I'm saying? Like I
Yeah,
feel
yeah,
like
yeah.
I feel like a lot of like official English translations like might do that if the manji symbol shows up in like any
Oh,
series,
yeah, no.
just in case.
Absolutely, because
Yeah.
like it really, it's rough. Okay,
It's a
like
trip.
Yeah.
it's a trip because like the manji was supposed to be like the Buddhist compass to the soul, and it was like a symbol representative of like the inward pathing spiral that is like life and reincarnation, and like the idea of that life's moment is like a whirlpool, and you slowly get drawn into that inevitable center
Mhm.
of like death and the universe and all that stuff. And then like some shitty kid who didn't get into art school decided to be like, you know what, I like art, I'm gonna steal that
Right.
and make everyone hate it.
Yeah. What a douche.
And
What a fucking
it's like
asshole.
a guy, and it's weird because he's like, oh yeah, Aryan supremacy, it's an Asian symbol. Like
Okay.
the irony is
Yeah.
palpable for me.
Right.
Like,
Right.
I
and it-
was gonna say, oh, sorry,
Yeah.
continue, Mel. I didn't.
oh, it's actually really frustrating because like I broke a finger in my hand, so I can't do this.
Oh shit.
I can't do this, right?
Oh,
and
wow,
so for
wow.
a long time, when I'm counting, I'll do this, and white supremacists have taken that from me too.
Oh
right? Like,
no.
And then, like I was counting off to it's like, oh yeah, we do like this, this, and this, and then like I had one table just kind of look at me, and I was like, what? Oh, it's that. Is
Yep.
it? No, yeah, you're right. I'm
Yep.
not white, and I'm doing
Oops.
this to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's just like, god damn it, guys.
I can't
Like,
even say anything is A-okay anymore.
Exactly. They still fuckers. Yeah, no.
Yeah, that
That's my main
sucks.
gripe. White supremacists ruin everything.
They really
Uh,
do, man.
I'm not. So they're upset at the fact that you're doing this.
I mean, like, cause, like,
Right.
you know, like, white supremacists have kind of, like, adopted that
Co-opted
as, like,
symbols.
as, like,
Yeah,
hey,
it's-
you
it's-
Aryan
it's-
too, bro? You on the team? All right, bet.
It's basically, hey, watch out for dog whistles and like because like we break down media, right?
Yeah.
We break down media and art, and sometimes people use like media or memes or anything, and they can like try to hide who they want to be and broadcast who they are. Like people do that all the time with like anime Twitter and stuff.
Yeah.
And so like this is like a key, like a dog whistle for P for power, and then the WW for white.
Damn.
Yeah, so you just watch out for that.
Yeah.
That's life.
Yeah, for sure. But these color pages go super hard, man. The
Yeah.
inside color page.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. That one's I just found out about that like shit not too long ago too. But
I definitely did not know that this was a symbol for white power.
yeah,
Right?
it's
Wow.
fucked up.
It's just because I have a broken fucking hand, and that's how I've counted for
crazy.
like ever.
Yeah, you get like weird ass looks, but
And they're like,
yeah,
huh,
that's got to be like super awkward. But
must be off white.
no,
You get the. Oh no, I'm not say that.
yeah, but yeah,
Let's
no.
go.
Talking
I
like
was
go,
gonna say some wild shit funny, but
yeah, going back to the color pages though. I can't remember if we were talking about it on the show or if I saw it on the timeline or something like that. Maybe it was Axel who pointed it out one of the last times that he was on the show. But there's like
Sakamoto gets a lot of color splashes.
they do get a lot of color pages, but also
Mhm.
like the tone. There's like a tonal difference in like the colors used and just like the overall like vibe of the color spread specifically whenever it's focusing on like the organization members versus like focusing on like the main protagonist team. Like when it's Shin and Heisuke and, you know, Lou and, you know, Big Sakamoto, it's very colorful, vibrant, you know, reminiscent of like, you know, early Dragon Ball color page spreads, and like, you know, everything is all colorful and bright and shiny. But then when it's like the organization gets like a color spread, it's like dark, muted colors and like, it's, you know, matte, and shit like that. Yeah.
It's like the difference between like pop art and then like the Sith Order.
Yeah.
You know,
type shit.
Yeah, no, it's very like very like art pop color palette, and always takes like a really like painted one, whereas like the tonal shift for like the Order stuff always it makes it feel like it's coming from like a noir series, but like more red than say like Sin City's yellow.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Yep.
Makes me think of that.
Yeah, Sakamoto Days is always gonna snap on these. They're always gonna be bangers. Like always gonna be like one of the best color pages in, you know, that week or the month or whatever.
And as like the thing that I liked the most about the color page is the fact that like there's so much detail in the uniforms themselves on Shin and Sakamoto. Like it looks painted on. It looks painted straight up, like it looks painted, and then also on the bottom right hand side, you can see the scuffed part of Shin's pants frayed. Because like you know when you're a kid and you have like pants that are just too long and you step on it all the time. The heel drags, and I'm like, that is like that's such like a visual indicator of youth for me. Because I was like because like I'll see young kids or like really tall kids, right? I'm like, I can't tell how old you are, and I just kind of look at their pants and I'm like, you're like 14, whatever.
Yep. I definitely was a kid who had like holes in the back of the bottoms of their jeans and shit. Like I was always wearing like super long and baggy, like way too big of clothes just in general. So I definitely feel you on
that. Was that early that was that early 2000s vibe.
Yeah, that too.
Mid 2000s vibe.
Yep.
Absolutely.
But yeah, good spot. I didn't even notice the frayed like back of the. Yeah. I didn't notice it.
Great spot there.
Oh yeah, and I like the perspective on the color page too, on the spread, right? Because it's like just like the upward shot of them like crouched over. I think it was Axel in one of our group chats that was like, "Hey, be careful with them knees, Sakamoto." Like, "Hey, man, you're," or something like that.
To get back up.
Yeah, and it's like, like Sakamoto like ain't even like older than us, which is like crazy to think about.
He's not as old as us. He's just that looks as old as we feel some days.
Right. And he's still got that weight too, so like you never know. Like the knees could still be an issue with the.
I squat down because I like, as a waiter, I talk to kids sometimes, and so I squat down to get their level. And like it's great for communicating, but every time I get up, I'm just like, all right, let's go.
Shit. Okay, the joints are jointing. All right.
I squat down a lot at work as well.
Where's my fish oil capsules?
But I use it more so as a subconscious body language talking technique.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
To like lower myself and make them feel more powerful within the situation.
Oh, okay.
As I'm trying to make them send more money.
I am above you. Here's a tip, peasant.
Shit.
Yo.
No, seriously,
like,
it makes
you see this down here? You're gonna have to spend about $500 more.
Well, since you're below me, I guess I can spare it.
I'm looking down at you, so I feel like I'm in control of the situation. No, it's absolutely that, because like if I can get a kid to like not be shy and actually like tell me their order, parents love me for that. And I'm just like, great, love that. I did very little. I just made myself shorter. That's all I did.
Yeah.
I go in there, schmooze up their pet, man. I get down
on
my knees.
But I like the whole like high school mixtape vibes.
This does have a kind of mixtapey cover vibe. Yeah.
High school delinquents mixtape type.
Sakamoto Days, dropping scenes.
Yo, that's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Detention in hell.
Assassins and airplanes. Cop that.
Sakamoto Days dropping soon,
I'm screaming.
But I love that getting into the chapter, I guess, we spent a long time kind of bullshitting, going around in circles about the color spread and different shit. But anyways, getting into the chapter, I love the fact that Natsuki like literally made a hood that blocks electromagnetic waves so that Shin could no longer read his mind.
Hell yeah.
Definitely shows that Shin, left a potent enough impact on him.
Oh yeah.
Interactions.
Yeah, he's like, hold on, I gotta stop this next time.
He went out of his way to develop tech to counter him. Love to see this kind of like innovation within, the tech, that shows Shin's ability isn't always going to be so potent in every situation.
Yeah, he did the Magneto tactic. He said, Charles, I'm sick of this.
Charles?
Got the helmet
God
going.
damn it.
Yeah, he's like, you're not reading my thoughts no more.
No more, man.
I really appreciate that he really didn't take that standing down. He's like, oh, because he's such a cautious person, right? Like, when they were abducting Lu Xiaotong because they thought it was Shin, he was like, hey, we got to double check. That doesn't seem like Shin. You sure it's Shin? We need to double check. And he seems like a very cautious, very thorough person. And I really appreciate that in Assassin because, like, even though as over the top, high octane action this series is, I feel like, oh god, there was a different series. It talked about like assassination is about making that one perfect chance.
The Fable.
The Fable? Maybe.
Yeah, The Fable, or maybe it's not The Fable, but I guess what you just said reminded me of The Fable. I guess I'm not thinking of like a specific...
From Saga?
No, The Fable, oh damn. Yeah, that is also in Saga, but The Fable is a seinen manga about like the world's best assassin.
Nice.
And we did like a little review for it like way back in the day on the channel for like a tie-in episode. It was me, Kiko, and Nickums, and I chose to do like the Fable Volume 1 or whatever, and there's like a really big like thing about exactly what you're talking about in like the Fable just like as a concept, but I don't think the Fable is what you were trying to think of now that I think about it, but yeah. I like how we get confirmation that this dude is Mafuyu's brother in this chapter, right? That was pretty cool.
Yeah, he just came in outright said it.
Yeah.
Yato was I think saying in the Twitch chat, he's like, oh, I'm surprised he just came right out and said it early. But I was like, we had the last name confirmation last chapter. You and Mello were speculating that, because of that, they could be brothers. And I do kind of like that that the author, it slips my mind, Suzuki. I like that Yuto, Suzuki just kind of got that right out of the way,
Yeah.
We're not going to waste time thinking, could they be brothers? Like they have the same last name. Just get it right out of the way. He's going to come right out and say it.
And it's organic too. It's like, it makes sense. It's not just like, here you go, because you've been thinking about it. It's like it actually came out like naturally in conversation. So, yeah, that's always good.
And I do really love the sort of quid pro quo, like I said, when Mello was talking about his favorite chapter of the week.
Yeah.
We get this quid pro quo type of relationship that develops between them because of Natsuki's hood, where they actually have to kind of scratch one another's backs instead of it being like a one-sided power dynamic because of, Shin being able to read people's minds.
Right.
Definitely can't wait to see more of Shin and Natsuki together during this like JCC arc, kind of just moving around, subterfuge, talking shit.
Yeah, it's a cool
little like so far.
I like them too, and it's a cool duo. Shin always be just getting like really cool dynamics with like, being paired with like one other character, whether it's him and Sakamoto or him and Kaiji or him and Mafuyu or him and Natsuki. He always just seems to kind of like click in some kind of way with whoever he's teaming up with, whether it's like, an amicable, kind of union, or even if it's like a shit talking, like back and forth kind of like good cop, bad cop, buddy cop kind of like situation. Like either way, the dynamic is just, it just slaps every time when whoever he's paired with. Maybe that's just because he's just that good of a character. But
shit, he got on some Luffy shit this time. Like he just stumbled into a situation where somebody was trying to beat somebody's ass and fucking whoop their ass, and now all of a sudden it's like in a weird relationship with him.
Like, well, you're strong. I'm gonna roll with you.
Pieced up fucking buddy in the bathroom.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah. I think it's interesting how Siba, older Siba, the way he like hears just a little bit of like Shin talking to himself and then uses that to like, I don't know, commit information warfare a little bit. He's like, yeah, you fucked me up a little bit. I'm gonna get a free lunch. You made me. I'm gonna stick it to you.
That's
Yeah.
funny as fuck.
I'm gonna angle this.
Yeah, and this
Man, as long
lunch. Oh yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Eagle.
Well, no, I was just gonna say, as long as we're talking about the lunchroom scene, man, this is like just another great fucking, I guess, example of how fucking brutal this JCC environment.
Yeah,
really
it's
is.
so
It's
fitting.
survival of the fittest, bro.
Yeah,
I mean, you
it's-
ain't even about to be eating good if you're not cold, bro. Like you're
Yeah.
eating literal scraps if you're a scrub, bro.
Yeah, what's the ingredients for this JCC bowl?
Brown-
Brown rice, army rations? Question mark. Vegetable
is-
scraps of the day. I'm screaming.
Yo.
It's terrible.
Like army rations, like that not being like elaborated on at all is just like hilarious to me. It's like, is
Well,
that
the guys are like,
yeah.
oh, I haven't had meat in months, so it's like it's not meat in the rations.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, is there any protein in that? Because Buddy
Well, if you
says
look
like,
at the
It's Velveeta
veggies-
powder.
no.
If you look at the veggies, like there's a decent portion of a carrot in here. Like there's some rice, there's some like lettuce or cabbage.
It
or
ain't
whatever.
good.
Yeah, but them
It's
carrots,
not bad, bro.
them carrots look kind of fuzzy. I'm not gonna hold you. It
No,
look like
it's not bad.
they dropped them
looks like
carrots
there's
on the floor or
actual-
something.
Looks like there's actual hair in it.
Yeah, like that's the
Zoom in,
fucking
like,
pubes in this
the
shit, bro. I'd be
veggies-
pissed.
Well, those are bean sprouts. Those
All
are
right.
bean sprouts. Don't be gross.
all right. They bean sprouts. Fuck it. All right, cool. I'm still not eating that shit.
Turnips, yeah. I
Are
mean,
they
have you
hairy?
had
Are
an
they-
MRE? It's not good. They
It can be like bean sprouts can be like stringy. It might not necessarily be hair. It can just be like stringy,
yeah, or like
plant
turnips
stuff.
or daikons.
Like they just
Yeah.
give you shucked fucking corn husk.
Yeah.
Hair on it. They put that
Hey,
shit right.
vegetable
in the-
scraps of the day could be corn husks. I'm not
Yeah.
even going to
Hey,
lie.
man,
Like I'm swinging
exactly.
on somebody if you put corn husks in my bowl, bro. Like I'm
Hey,
sorry.
man,
I know I
just
joined
aim
this of my own volition, but like y'all
Just aim
handed this
better.
to me. I have to steal off you.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, the ticket giver's automated.
Oh yeah, you're right. You gotta go. Or nah. You get the ticket and then you go to the lunch lady or some shit, and they give it to you. Either way, it's like I'm
Steal
sorry.
off the machine, like
Ah, why? But no, that's cool.
I
So
mean-
like, wait a minute. So you have a gun, and then, but it's not a real gun. You're not like actually shooting this thing with a bullet. It's more like a fucking like laser tag gun or whatever, and you just have to like hit the. You have to just like
Yeah.
have good aim. And okay, so JCC bowl is gigantic, and then everything
Yeah.
else is tiny. So like, why? I feel like even if you're not good with a gun, you just avoid the biggest targets and just like what if you miss once, you don't eat anything or what? Because it's like, how do you accidentally hit one of these things?
because it's the most minute like change in your wrist positioning or anything like that
Sure.
can drastically change the pathing of the bullet, and like that's why they say you're not supposed to pull the trigger, you're supposed to squeeze it, because even just that hand movement will
Can
drastically
Change
Yeah.
the
alter the
trajectory.
pathing of the bullet. So
Yeah.
shooting a gun is a lot harder than most people want to kind of acknowledge.
Sure.
It is actually very hard. So
Okay.
No,
I've never shot a
people-
gun. I wouldn't know.
yeah.
Yeah.
If you go for the higher caliber ones, if you
I've
get,
shot a
like,
lot.
for like
Yeah.
the handguns, if you go for like the higher calibers, like the Desert Eagles or anything like that, if you don't keep your wrist straight, you'll fucking crack bones inside your wrist because
Oh.
it's just high caliber and it's going out of a lot of force. Like you want
Yeah.
to have like proper, you want to hold it like this and have support, because otherwise like his guns will go like this or jerk down or to the side, and like people have like straight up broken like multiple bones in their wrists.
Yeah.
I could see
Firing
that.
gun, fucking around,
you're
watching
shooting a
like
50
Vash the
cal-
Stampede, and you're like, I want to be
Yeah.
like him.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No.
If
Um,
you're shooting a Desert Eagle or even a 44 Magnum, like those are big ass guns. And like Mello said, if you're not holding them correctly, you can, break bones in your wrist. Or if you're not like holding them firmly enough, they'll fucking kick
Mm.
back and hit
Oh,
you
yeah.
right in your shit.
If you don't keep your like elbow like too loose, it'll like, because the whole recoil, the energy will like shove up your arm, and this thing's gonna give first. You're gonna like smack yourself right in the face.
Yeah, I've definitely
compilations,
seen
man.
videos of like people shooting guns and the recoil be beating their ass. So I'd be
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
damn.
Yeah, even with higher power like shoulder guns, like 12 gauge. If you're too
Mhm.
small for a 12 gauge, that's a powerful ass shotgun. That bitch will fucking put you on your ass. Or even
You
like a
gotta plant
rifle.
yourself.
Funnily enough, like if you're holding a rifle, like if you have your eye too close to the scope, it'll fucking kick back and bing, hit
Oh.
you right in your shit, give
Black
you a black
eye.
eye.
Yeah, ouch. Oh my god.
It's shooting guns, man. It's it's
It's some
actually does
shit.
take some skill.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so Elder Saba is right? He's the older brother, Natsuki.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, reiterating that like, yeah, I've heard that this base is somewhere in this place, but I don't know for sure. And it's like, okay, so like everybody's pretty positive that it's in one of these couple of locations, but like nobody knows for sure. So that makes me think that like we're gonna get to like these locations and like something is just going to be like way different than like what people were expecting about getting this information from the location they think it's in. Because it's like if all of these people, think they have an idea of like where it is and then we finally get it, but then they're not entirely positive. It's like, can we be even sure that when we actually find this information that it's going to give us even what we want? You know what I mean? Like people seem to be like very like vague, with like what this information even is or where it is. So it's like I feel like we're all like building towards this, like let's find the room and get the stuff. And obviously, there's probably going to be some kind of like conflict, like standing in the way once you even find the room to get the information. But it's just like making me feel like uneasy about like even locating it. You know what I mean? Like even if we do find it, like what does it even mean for real? And it's like, plus we know that Slur and them are like coming to destroy that stuff. So it's like, do they definitely know where it is? You know what I mean? Like, how do they definitely, like, will they be able to just, like, find it easily because they're the antagonists? Or, like, are they going to have as much difficulty as the protagonists seem to be having? I guess is the question that I have. Because it's like, is this just going to be, like, a battle royale in this fucking, like, complex? Or, like, this building or wherever they are, like, is it just going to be like a crazy free-for-all, like, for the room, like, once both parties locate it? It's just like making me like think so many things about like what's going to happen when we actually locate this information.
I hope it's gonna be a thing where they finally like reach the main point, the main objective. They do like a brief skirmish and then realize they're not there, the other team isn't there to retrieve information but to destroy the information, and then it becomes like a defensive game and like trying to protect a stationary object from being destroyed from people as deadly as like the Slur organization.
Yeah.
Pretty difficult. So I want to see something like that. I feel like it'll give me some like Deadly Class sort of vibes.
Ooh, nice.
If it devolves into like a melee,
I'm just thinking of all kinds of crazy shit where it's like the melee that we're talking about right now, and then like both sides have like pinpointed the area where the information is and they're fighting for it. And then we find out that the information isn't there in the form that like people automatically assume. Like it's not a document or like a piece of paper or like a file on a computer, but it's somebody who just knows or something. You know what I mean? Like they
That'd
just
be
like
wild,
like somebody's just got like the
I could
kind
see
of
that,
like
it's a little old lady
Yeah.
sitting somewhere that just knows.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
man, what if it's what if they do a Full Metal Alchemist and hide it inside like recipes, and that the whole database is underneath the cafeteria?
Oh my god, that'd be so
And
funny.
like because like you have lunch lady staff, and people
Yeah.
usually don't pay attention to the people that keep everything running,
Right.
especially at like institutions like that. It's a public place, it's hard to like sneak into because it's wide open, not a lot of open areas, and then there's always people, and then the people that would do maintenance on like the servers or anything, they could just be like, oh yeah, we're lunch ladies, lunch lads, or whatever,
Yeah.
and like doing our thing.
Right. Yeah, it could like I'm just expecting it to just like be completely like subversive at every step of the situation, you know what I mean? I'm trying to think of like what that could mean for a story like Sakamoto Days that leans into comedy pretty heavily. And I just think that it would be funny and cool if they're like, where's the document? Where's the manila envelope? Where's the file on the computer? And then you just like see like some like old dude like, I got it all up here, young whippersnapper, or something like that, or I don't even know how it would work out or whatever. You'd have to have like a crazy ass brain for that. But like you never know.
That happen.
Yeah, you got motherfuckers that can read minds in this shit. Like you never know like what Yuto Suzuki will do for you.
Unforgettable in this bitch.
Yeah, unforgettable type shit. Yeah.
Yeah, I could definitely see that happening. But
yeah.
I guess moving on further into the chapter, I suppose, past the lunchroom scene.
Back to Sakamoto, back to Lady Moto.
Feels like these other staff are kind of putting Sakamoto through like a sort of a a hazing process, which
Yeah.
while it's hilarious, it also feels kind of fucked up because it feels like they're doing it because he's a woman, as far as they know.
Yeah.
Like we had the other dude last chapter, like talking shit,
Yeah.
on some misogynist shit. And then we also had, I don't know, it just feels like even this old fuck is like, let's send you to the dorm with the delinquents to get your ass beat. Like,
Yeah.
what?
Let's give you all the
Yeah.
scut work, yeah.
Yeah, and then like I was looking at it on page 13 and they're like, who's that woman? Is she new? Probably came to give us another lecture. We'll just have to teach her the rules around this dorm. And I was like, is this more sexism? And I was like, I don't really feel it as much in this scene as I did with the guy who literally says women have no place in this organization. I just felt it as like they just like, you know, are just like, fuck faculty, come in here, try to tell us how to do shit, and just like assuming that they're gonna that you know, Sakamoto's gonna like lecture them, and they just like would fuck up anybody who was coming in to try to do this.
Well,
maybe
I mean,
I didn't really feel the sexism as hard in this scene.
Yeah. But I also think that we're thinking about it because we know that there are institutions that do act like that, and like having that one guy being like, the gun is no place for a woman, whatever.
Yeah, whatever he says.
Like that sets the tone for the rest of it, and like if we literally just like swap out male and female for Sakamoto and replay that scene, we'd be like, we just see people being like macho and petty. Okay, cool. But then if you make it a woman, it's like, well, is it sexism? It's like, you're being shitty either way.
Yeah, and like this old dude probably is like Eagle. You're probably right. You're probably right about this old guy, right? Because it's like the old guy is like knowingly sending Sakamoto to this place where we can pretty safely assume that he knows that they'll, you know, be shitty to him. You know what I mean? So like at least maybe there he's probably on some fuck shit like that. But the delinquents that are actually in here seem like they just like hate the establishment and are just like, teachers go away no matter who you are.
I wasn't talking about the students at all. I was talking strictly about just the staff and then this old fuck.
Yeah, this old guy.
I mean, especially places like that where like people are there for a long time. They'll always kind of heap on the bullshit to newbies because they don't know that it's not really part of their job. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I don't know if we
advantage of new people's ignorance.
Yeah, and I don't know if we talked about this on the show or like I feel like my time on Twitter and time on the show are like starting to like blend together to a certain degree, but like I feel like Sakamoto is emoting like a lot more in this lady body than he ever has, either in his big form or his skinny form. Like his facial expressions are very, you know, like it's a wide spectrum. Like he looks a lot more surprised when there's like something to be surprised about. Like he's been a lot more like pissed and like irritated facial expressions coming from Sakamoto in this form. Like when he's in big Sakamoto form, he has one facial expression. When he's in skinny Sakamoto form, he kind of really only has one facial expression. But then when he's like Lady Sakamoto, he's like emoting like crazy, and that's just like.
I mean, that's the power of the mask, man.
Yeah,
like...
for real. But it's like, is he always like this emotive and it just doesn't show when he's in any of his two regular forms? Or like is just, the
mustache just blocks it all out.
Yeah, maybe the mustache and like the reflection on the glasses. Yeah, sure. But like you don't get that when he's in skinny form. Like you see his eyes in skinny form and he doesn't have a mustache in skinny form, but he still is just like very stoic at like all times and like straight faced or like just looks like tired or something, or like
that's because that's when he was back all about the business, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but he's been skinny form since he quit the business too. Like he's been skinny form in this story like a couple of times when he needs to be, and he just like doesn't emote like that. But
at
I don't know.
At the same time, those are usually times of like duress where he's like, oh, I need to like give it my all.
Yeah, that's true too.
Yeah,
these are a lot more comedic moments.
Stock. I need to like sit forward.
Oh yeah.
You know, but like I love, and like you were talking about how the kids were like very anti-establishment. I mean, look at their dorm. It is just like a slur recruiting ground.
Right, they're like slur worshippers. Like we want to be like that guy when we get older.
Yeah, straight up.
Like fan club for slur.
Like.
Yeah, they don't even know who this man is. Like, this is a crazy assassin that's shaking the streets up. He's got to be tight. Yeah,
he's got to be tight.
Yeah.
Yeah, the combat scene with Sakamoto and the delinquents though was definitely fucking hilarious as shit. But
it's cool. It was so like tight and funny, like perfect balance.
Also, I was just gonna say it was also badass as shit at the same time. So far, so par for the course.
Right.
For Sakamoto Days, and these kids are just like, they got to be like, yo, this lady's fucking whooping our ass with fucking chopsticks and coat hangers. What the fuck we supposed to do, man?
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah,
And
no, it's so
just I always love that comedy within the combat in Sakamoto Days, man.
good. Yeah.
Such a good, element by Yuto Suzuki, man.
Yeah, and like we talk about it, about how the choreography in Sakamoto Days is so crazy, but it's also, because of the environmental like usage of like the fighters involved, you know what I mean? Like Sakamoto can literally grab anything around him and turn it into a weapon, obviously, and I feel like all high tier, assassins are able or should be able to do something like that. So like that's just like a cool like thing like about the series like in general, but like the way Sakamoto does it, it's just like holy shit, this really is the tightest dude in the whole show. And it's like they grab the fucking like boiling hot water, try to splash it in his face, and he grabs the cup noodle, catches it
with the cup.
Yeah,
bro,
it goes all in the cup, dude.
And the way he
wrist
fucking just like crouches down and with the fucking drawer in this dude's ribs.
Okay, yeah, that's my favorite part of the whole shit on page 19 when they're coming at him and he's like, huh? Oh, all right, bet. Boom, opens the drawer to hit him in the side. Then the next dude comes and he stuffs him in the fucking drawer and kicks it closed. I was like, bro, this is like Jackie. This is how Jackie Chan fights in movies. But like dialed up to a million.
Yeah, and you see on the next page too, after the drawer hits him in the ribs, this dude is he's just on the ground like, he's out of like when I was reading it, I was like, yo, that would fucking kill, bro. And on the next page, he's just slumped. He's out of there. He can't. He's nice.
I'm good. Good luck, you guys. I'm done,
bro.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Yeah.
I got like 6 shattered ribs.
Yeah.
I like how all of that damage they took out. What? 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6 or so people in under a minute because those noodles weren't even done.
Yeah.
Those noodles weren't even done.
Yeah, those are like minute noodles.
Oh my god, I didn't even think of the noodles as like a timer for how fast this is all happening. That's fucking incredible. So yeah, this is all like happening in like 30 seconds. That's so good. Grabs the vacuum cleaner, sucks this dude's hair up, and just like crashes him against the wall with it. It's like I've never seen anything like this before. In choreography. It's a
powerful ass vacuum cleaner.
Right. I mean, shit. It's an assassin's vacuum cleaner.
It's an assassin's vacuum cleaner.
For real. Like, I just feel like all of these household appliances and just like
this might have to be used as a weapon at some point.
Exactly.
Strong.
Yeah, these aren't like
in this world. That's just what it is.
Yeah, these aren't just like regular, everyday household things. Like these things have been modified for assassins to use in these situations if they need to. And that's just like but see, like that's the question that you asked. Like, is it just comedy that he beat this dude the way that he did with the vacuum cleaner, or is it what I'm saying where it's like, yeah, it's a regular household appliance, but it's also in like the training grounds of like an assassination camp, so like just in case it should probably be augmented in some kind of way.
Comedy.
It could probably just be comedy.
If it were going to be augmented, you would think it would just be made of harder shit, because he could definitely have just been like and just club this dude in his shit and just like
It's not about being effective, it's about sending a message, you know. But like I'm just imagining it's like, get JCC brand vacuum cleaners. This can suck up a cremated man in 5 seconds.
Yo, not cremated man.
Or you can even make the head like an eyeball shape with 2
they're trying to kill each other. They probably have like an incinerator behind the gym, dude. Like,
something. Who knows?
Catch the shit out of somebody in their dome.
Yeah.
With the eyeball shape on the vacuum cleaner.
Right.
Pointed ends.
Yeah. Yeah, the use of the environment is always just like so fun. Ever since Axel like pointed that out, like I guess I've always noticed it, but I've never like been like looking for it to appreciate it like to a higher degree. Ever since Axel pointed that out, I'm just like, dude, you're totally right. Literally, like it's literally like a Jackie Chan movie. Like I promise you, Jackie Chan is like a huge inspiration to Yuto Suzuki as far as action choreography goes.
No, when you said that, I definitely was like, damn, he's right, bro. This is some Jackie Chan shit, bro.
Yeah, straight up.
Jackie Chan be fucking jumping up chairs, fucking running this whole a coat hanger.
Yep. Yeah, I could see him using all of these things in a fight scene.
Jackie Chan,
I think I remember a movie scene where Jackie Chan... Go ahead, Mello.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say, I think I remember a scene where he would like uses a fucking jacket to tie somebody up or do some crazy shit. Like you always see crazy shit like that in Jackie Chan.
Yeah, he like fought
I've
somebody
seen-
like with like a fucking like ladder. He was like fighting on top of a ladder, under a ladder,
Yeah.
like hitting people with ladders. You know what I mean? Like it's just like, damn.
I
That was
think
a great
might have been
spot.
One of the
Yeah.
first Rush Hour movies,
Thanks.
actually.
What'd you say, Mello?
I think that might have been one of the first Rush Hour movies. I think. 'Cause I
Yeah, it was
remember,
something like
a
that.
reel like that.
Yeah, I can never
Um,
remember. They all kind of like blend together. It's been a while since I've like watched Jackie Chan. I used to watch him all the fucking time back in the day. Rumble in the Bronx, like all of that shit. And it's just like, man, it's like, what scene is that from? What scene is this from? Yeah, I can never remember nowadays. I should do a
No,
rewatch.
I love that. But I'm imagining like Jackie Chan, like a la The Foreigner, but like done in like a Mrs. Doubtfire mode. And I'm like, this is Sakamoto Days, the live action.
Yes. Oh my God, that's spot
It'd be
on.
hilarious. But like those are the vibes I'm picking up from it.
Yeah.
I remember when they first fought the reindeer on the subway,
Yeah.
and they like had a mechanical pencil, and they popped off the lead, and then thumb flicked the lead and used it to blind him. And I
Yeah.
was like, yeah. And like I love that they used like the papers to stop the knife, and then like they can like quick twirl that into like a cone of paper to say it disarm them, that kind of stuff. And I just
Right.
like the whole improvised weapon master that is Sakamoto. It's like
Yes.
everything is a tool, everything is an item used to kill, and I'm good with anything. It's like very Chronicles of Riddick, you know? It's like, I'll kill you.
Yeah, with a teacup. Yo, that was amazing.
Twist off. Now it's a sharp, straight edge.
Yeah,
Punch
yeah.
to the heart.
Now, I
Core you
the-
like an apple.
That scene like stuck with me all this time. It's like if someone was like, "Yo, do you remember this in Chronicles of Riddick?" I might be like, "I don't know." But if they bring up the teacup scene, I'm just like, "Yes, that is the one thing I think about. Like it lives in my head rent free."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, for sure.
Remember back in the day when you were trying to put me onto a bunch of different old school movies? That was one of the ones you said I should watch.
Yeah, the Pitch Black Chronicles of Riddick. I don't
Pitch
really
Black was so
remember.
good.
Pitch Black is my favorite of all of them, probably. But because it was just like more like horror than anything else. Like he just became a sci-fi action hero after Pitch Black. You know what I mean? And it was more about like Riddick being a badass than it was about like a badass existing in a horror story. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But-
It was interesting that Vin Diesel was able to like transcend a couple of genres with that one. I
Yeah,
was like, good
yeah,
for
yeah.
you.
Yeah, straight up. But yeah, whenever you
Yeah.
see, improvised weapon masters, as Mello put it, which is just a fire title and just like term in general, like those are always just like some of the most exciting people to watch fight in anything.
Yeah.
Like, I love the one where like the Drunken Master, right? Where
Yeah.
Jackie Chan fights people off with like multiple bottles
Yeah.
and like forces them to like catch like heavy objects and then like sweeps out their legs.
Yeah,
underneath
beats
them,
them while
and
they're
then-
distracted by it.
And
Yeah.
then like elbow checks the bucket that they just caught into another guy, hits them off the head. You know?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, use them surroundings, use that environment. But yeah, so he whoops them and then they're like, "Hey, don't deface the walls of someone's alma mater."
I
Like
think
that's
that-
just such a Sakamoto thing to say in this situation.
Yeah.
It's like he
I
has
guess-
to keep up the store, you know what I mean? Like he's definitely very like dad, homebody, like in his dialogue, even in these kind of situations. Plus he's like pretending to be faculty, so it's like I gotta say things like these, but it's just like
I think
funny.
it's
So,
really
guess
ironic for
the-
Sakamoto saying that, you know?
Yeah.
Because like yeah, the kids put like the big slur X's all over the place, and he views that as defacing, but he doesn't view it as defacing when he took a guy with and like used a man like a vacuum cleaner and cludgeoned him through
Yeah.
the entire wall.
Right. Plus, you'd think there would be a more emotional response, from all of like the X and slur worship inside of you. He doesn't even like look at it as like, oh, like there's no like anger or like, oh man, it's slur, that slur guy. Like it's just like, hey man, don't fuck up the crib, man. like this is our big bad like final boss enemy that you guys are worshiping, and it's just like casual Sakamoto, like not even worrying about it, and that's just like cool to me.
He's like,
I
how do
think-
you scrubs even hear about this guy? Come on.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think the fighting style you could probably most closely relate Sakamoto's to real world fighting style would be probably Krav Maga. Only
Mhm.
because I don't know, I was looking it up and it's kind of the fighting style that specializes most in teaching you how to use, your environment and just like shit around you that wouldn't normally be considered like a potent weapon.
Yeah.
And I do actually remember seeing either a TikTok or maybe a Facebook video. It might have been way back before TikTok was even a thing.
Vine?
Vine.
Where this Krav Maga instructor was like teaching, people how to use a fucking sucker, like put a sucker in your hand with the fucking stick sticking out of your knuckle.
Ooh, shit.
As a fucking weapon where you
sense.
could like gouge somebody's fucking neck with it and
Got
shit.
enough pressure in a single point.
Yeah.
It's that small. It's gonna poke you.
It's serious. So yeah, I think that would be the fighting style you could most closely relate Sakamoto's to, or this kind of
yeah, I feel that.
That's such a good idea for self-defense. I've been keeping a lighter in my pocket so that if I need to, I can have that perfect fist.
Yeah, lighter's effective too, but I mean, if you got something to poke a motherfucker in the throat with, like that's gonna slap a little. That's gonna slap a little bit harder than the perfect fist. I want to say in most situations, especially if you're actually trying to kill somebody, but. Yeah, Krav Maga, that's the one. That's like, the Jason Bourne, John Wick, Jack Reacher, like fighting style, like James Bond, you know what I mean? Like
Israel Defense Force, the idea.
Yeah, that's a fucking action hero fighting style for sure. It's like one versus many. Yeah.
Very Jack Reacher. Have you guys seen the new one? My friend highly recommends it.
Nah, I haven't. I didn't even know they were still making Jack Reacher movies. I saw the trailer for the first one, and I was like, "Really, Tom Cruise still trying to do stuff like this? What a wimp!"
They replaced him with a different actor.
Oh,
and it's so much better. It's like a TV show.
Oh, that's
Jack
cool.
Reacher rings a bell. Is that like derived from the books like Stormbreaker?
Yeah. Oh. It's the spy movie. It's the spy books.
I like those books a lot back in the day.
Tom Cruise, and that kind of sucked. And then they redid the series, except for it's not a movie; it's a TV show. Yeah. So I think it's just called Reacher, and it's really quite good. It definitely reminds me of like he gives off Sakamoto vibes. He's like, I don't want to do this.
Does the show pick up from where the movie?
All of your asses.
Yeah.
Does the show pick up from where the movie left off, or is it just independent and covers like from the beginning? Because I don't know. I might have to take a look at that.
I forgot about
I didn't really watch the first movie, so I can't tell.
Yeah, the first movie was like a Tom Cruise like action movie or some shit. I thought it was a joke. I didn't even know that it was I mean, like I didn't think it was a joke, but like I just like looked at it and like laughed, like
can't take it seriously.
Like random, like regular like person first and last name action hero starring Tom Cruise. Like I was just like, get out of here, man. We got enough.
Wow, you're trash.
Yeah, I was. I mean, like I didn't tie it to the books. I remember like Point Blank and Stormbreaker and like whatever was in that like trilogy or whatever. Like I remember those books from school, but like I didn't piece that together. Like when I saw the Tom Cruise trailer, I was just like, oh man, another Jason Bourne and it's Tom Cruise this time. All right, these guys are running out of ideas or something. Yeah, I was like, whatever.
Mission Impossible happened like a decade ago. What's going on?
Yeah, I just completely discarded it and just like, I'm not watching that.
Right.
But
I'm excited. I think as far as the chapter goes, I didn't really have much else to talk about.
Yeah, so he's in here now. What should I ask first? It seems like he's gonna want to be trying to get information from these people about like where the room is, obviously because he's running out of time. And I'm just like wondering, like, man, you really think you're gonna get information from these bozos?
No, I mean more so maybe information that has to do with Slur and the organization. Who knows,
Sure. Yeah. I mean he is on like a clock here to find this location before he reverts from the disguise, so I want to assume that he's going to be like, tell me everything you know about this room with the info or something, but he could
got a full 20 hours though,
Oh, how much time left does he get?
15,
how much time?
15 hours.
That's a pretty long time. Yeah, but still, that's still not a lot for a room that is this evasive.
And the average
in such a big complex
sleeps, 6 to 8 hours, so like he's gonna pull an all-nighter trying to do this.
Right. Yeah. But
they did give pause to like seeing all the X's and stuff, so it's like, okay. He's like, what the hell is this? You know what I mean? So I feel like they're gonna kind of like get into it a little bit.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, what do you even see in this guy?
Yeah, I could see it being like, tell me everything you know about. Well, I could see him first asking like, do you know anything about this room? And then if they're like, give him some kind of like vague information or just no information, I'll be like, all right, well, tell me what you know about Slur. Then I could see it being like that for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I want to see Sakamoto's interrogation technique because like be in that kind of scenario, or like is he going to be a brute about it, or is he going to finesse them, or is he going to like kind of Kansas City shuffle Lucky Number 11, distract them from the real point that he's getting at? Like
I could see that. That'd be cool.
What I want to get into.
God, I love Lucky Number 11. That's one of my favorite movies ever.
seems like everyone's thinking that it might be in the library.
Right.
Because even Sakamoto's like, I need to go to the library. Like,
Which makes me think
Natsuki
that
was
that's the
like,
last place it's going to be.
Right.
yeah, I think just because it's a place that you have knowledge doesn't mean it's going to be there, you know?
Right.
Right.
Yeah, and you want to know what? I didn't even think about it as far as like Sakamoto's interrogation tactics go, because it's like I just can't see Sakamoto being like a very passionate,
person.
well, just like a passionate interrogator. You know what I mean? Like I can definitely see him asking questions, but like I can't really see him, doing the whole like mental, like psychological, like warfare side of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he's also, in this, form that he's been emoting a lot more with, and also I feel like just talking a lot more. I feel like Sakamoto is like a man of like very few words a lot of the time. He only like says shit like when he needs to.
Character.
But he's like, yeah, but he's I feel like he says a lot more in this form. So like we might just see like a completely different side of Sakamoto just because he's in a disguise, which would be cool. Or maybe if he was in this situation, as his regular self, it would be the same thing. But I want to assume that he's just like doing more than he usually does because of the disguise. So it'd be interesting to see him like get like really scary interrogator mode like in the female body. It would just be fucking hilarious.
Yeah, that would be funny.
Yeah, but that's all I had for Sakamoto this week.
Yeah, I think that's about all I had as well. All right, well, that I think we can go ahead and get into the second chapter of the night. Mission Yozakura Family, chapter 185, The Gold Rank Spy Meeting, part 1.
Oh yeah, I love chapters like these.
Fuck yeah, dude. Definitely love chapters like these where we get just world building,
Yeah.
like organization building, whatever you want to call it.
And just like the top tiers of the organization at the table all talking, you know what I mean? Like it's, reminiscent of like the first time like all the warlords or like a lot of the warlords met up in One Piece coming out of like, what was it, like fucking Alabaster or some shit. And then like, like whenever you get that war room, conversation with all of the high tiers, that's just like always a great atmosphere for a chapter.
Yeah. And I love the fact that Izumo asked specifically for Kyoichiro to bring Taio along for the gold rank spy meeting.
Yeah.
We know he kind of took a liking to Taio when they met, so it feels like Izumo wants to kind of bring Taio further into the loop to increase his understanding of, like you said, how things do function in terms of the inner workings of the higher echelon of the underworld and in the spy organization and shit like that.
And Izumo probably sees him as like a really valuable player in the game considering his like ability set, you know what I mean? It's like you gotta be here because like you're like the key like to a lot of this, so you need this information because you're gonna be one of the most important factors in all of this.
Go be in the trenches.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
I feel really good about this chapter.
Oh yeah.
This was kind of something that we touched on the previous episode, really talking about like, hey, what is Momo's actions going to do? And then by forcing the organization to like really put them in a spot, like, hey, how are you going to own up to a perceived loose cannon in your family tree?
Yeah, and I guess we all did kind of jump the gun in thinking that they were going to be like, yeah, we got to kill y'all. But they were just like, nah, we're just washing our hands of y'all. You know what I'm saying? We're taking back any equipment that we've loaned you. All assets, are going to be frozen. You're no longer affiliated with us type shit, but you're going to be on your own. I kind of assumed that they were going to be like, yep, it's an assassination order. Like, y'all are out of there. Order black. You're done.
Yeah. Or Order 66. I don't even know what
Order 66
is.
Well, I don't know. Yeah. Order 66 was the Star Wars order where they were killed. The stormtroopers were going to turn on the Jedi. So
yeah, that's right.
I don't know. Right. That didn't really fit in this instance, which is why I said Order Black. I don't even know if that's a thing.
Order Black is just random order. Order Black, execute.
Well, when you're execute, Black, you're done. You're out of there. You're dead.
I just thought it was a reference. I was like, what is that from?
Order Rubber Ducky.
Yeah.
Black. I don't know. Order Rubber Ducky. I loved Alexandria and Shura, man. I loved how they were introduced.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that they both have like a goofy obsession with Shinzo and Futaba respectively.
Yeah.
So fucking hilarious. And I thought it was even more hilarious that while Shinzo was like having to fucking wrestle Ryu off of him the whole fucking time, like Futaba eventually does kind of give in to letting Shura hold her like a fucking doll. And
she she's just like chilling.
She even looks like she's kind of enjoying it a little bit. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? On page the double page spread on 8 and 9, she's like sitting there just looking at the documents, kind of almost looks like she's sucking on her thumb a little bit, just
Yeah.
chilling.
Yeah, like she's with it.
She'll zoom in. She's like,
Yeah.
I'm pondering. I'm getting my stuff, getting that little oxytocin,
Yeah.
little cuddle bond.
Yeah, and there's hearts
Very
coming
wholesome.
out of the, like it's hard to tell what, like you can assume the hearts are coming from Shura, obviously, but
Oh,
there could be one heart for Shura, one heart for Futaba. You never know.
Hell yeah.
Uh,
And we get a nice spread of these. Go ahead, Mello.
I was thinking it was very interesting that the number, so there's 10 gold ranks.
Yeah.
And then and that means that like Taio's included. I was thinking about like the number of people and how they might correlate as further parallels to the Yozakura family, or have like a very specific either a love or a hate in relationship with the different siblings.
Yeah.
Because we have Shura, we have Alexandria. So like I was wondering like is there parallel, because like is there parallels to like Nanao? Like the screen that says G, the little G demon?
Yeah, we got to
like,
do it on the Zoom call, yeah.
Yeah, is that gonna be our girl's like counterpart, being the tech head, being like, would they have like a competitive rivalry, that kind of thing?
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Is there like is there a gold rank member, that represents like the area of expertise of like everyone in the family or whatever,
and they can kind of like match.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, because it's like it's rare for all 10 of us to get together, and then I go down on this spread and I'm like, okay, there's 10 people, but one of them's Taio. Taio can't be included in
the president.
Huh?
And
it shouldn't be the president either, because
I was gonna ask that. Yeah, is the president counted with among the 10?
Well, like
or is he a separate? He's the president, so he's not. He's kind of above that, right?
Yeah, that's a question too. But I was just like, I was looking at the guy on the Zoom call, the guy on the iPad, or the person on the iPad, whatever. I was like looking at that, and I was like, that is a person, yeah, like that is one of the gold star members, because it's not talking about fucking Taio when he says it's rare for all 10 of us to get here together, but there's 10 physical people here, and yeah, one of them is the chairman. So it's like, is he included? If not, then that means that there is someone else that's not here. Yeah. But then why would Kyoichiro say it's rare for all 10 of us to get together? So the chairman has to be included.
Yeah, what page does he say that on?
On page 7. He says it's rare for all 10 of us to get together. And he's saying that to Izumo. So Izumo is definitely one of the gold rank ones. But then you go to the double page spread, and obviously this guy's on the iPad. Taio is not included in the 10 because he's not gold rank. So this drawing on the iPad has to be the other, gold star member. Yeah, because there's like six panels on the right side of the 8 and 9 double spread, and then 5 on the left side. So Taio being included. Yeah, I think we're supposed to like maybe like almost accidentally miss this guy on the iPad.
Maybe. I think we have to assume that the president is one of them.
Yeah, for sure.
And then I also did assume, especially since he gets his own panel on the bottom of the double page spread, where he's chilling, the little G guy. So I definitely did assume that he was one of them. But I was wondering.
They don't get any speaking roles though. I don't think so.
No,
they do actually.
Well, neither does the lady in the sport coat. She doesn't really say anything, or the dude, the little guy who's sitting here kind of smoking on a little hookah.
Well, Mello, you were saying that the guy on the iPad does get a dialogue.
Yeah, because at the bottom of page 9, the president says, "Let's start by watching a video we uncovered." And if you zoom in directly underneath that, the iPad is seen there, and it says "sure" in a double layered.
Oh my god!
Dialogue bubble.
What page?
Crazy.
The number 9
spread.
Oh, on the bottom of like.
On the very bottom left.
Very bottom, it says "sure," and they respond, and like they look at him.
Yeah.
If you zoom in.
Hold on, wait a minute. Bottom
you can see like a pupil for the eye staring at the president, or at least looking in the direction the president should be.
Wait, hold on.
So he's the one showing them the video and shit too. They watch it on the pad.
9. Oh, yep, there it goes. Yeah,
Tiny
nice.
details.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good spot. Good spot. That's good.
Yeah, I think if we want to parallel the, the people to I think not Tayo, I think Nanao would probably be paralleled to this little wild man looking dude with the long hair and the hookah. He's just sitting there smoking.
Yeah, it's like
He's got the percolated smoke coming out of the hookah, the special, you know what I'm saying, formula.
Yeah.
Some Nanao shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too, because they also got like deep bags under their eyes. They got kind of like weird little eyes going on. Plus they have like the scuba goggles on there.
Yeah.
So I wonder if they're doing something like their whole thing is like holding their breath and just poisoning the fuck out of everyone else or something. I don't know.
Could be smoking on some poison right now.
Right. I wonder
gotta
about
flex.
this chick in the sleeping bag. She hasn't said anything either, man.
Yeah, they're out cold.
Yeah.
Giving me big Aizawa vibes.
Oh no,
Yeah,
it's
that's what I was thinking too. Yeah,
it's Aizawa, and it's also giving me like LaRue from Tower of God vibes. I don't know if you guys read Tower
my
of God,
God,
but yeah,
that's fucking funny.
yeah. Oh yeah, well you guys have probably seen the anime if you haven't read it, but I know Eagle. I remember you were watching the anime.
I was watching it.
Yeah. Big LaRue vibes with this one.
I was reading it, and then eventually I just lost the thread.
Yep. I was live reacting to it too, and I haven't been back since I stopped doing that. I probably should do that soon. It's about time.
I guess moving along in the chapter though, I love what we get from Ryu's personality. I like, that being an information mogul. He's like, man, I like y'all. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing personal, but
Yeah.
I gotta go the route that yields the most information and the
Yeah.
most interesting scoop. You know what I'm saying? I run the biggest magazine in the underworld in terms of gossip and shit.
Yeah.
And I also love that Shura is like fiercely protective of Futaba and her family by what's the word I'm trying to think of? I don't know. By association.
Yeah.
That she's like, yo, get the fuck out of here. You trying to vote again? You trying to vote with this shit, boy?
Yeah,
I'll turn up on you.
It's like
I love the child emperor vibes that we get from her too, man.
Oh, child emperor.
So
Yeah. Because she seems to have like a kind of like similar like technology as Shinzo.
Yeah.
Well, what's her title? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Shinzo for sure. Military Industrial Complex Asura Group General CEO.
Yeah.
And Ashuras are known for having multiple hands, so like the fact that like all these tendrils start manifesting guns,
Nice.
like very on point. Her aesthetic reminds me of like Star Trek's The Borg, that were like cyborg people. They assimilated people into like this machinist like hive mind collective. And then also 2B from like Near Automata for like that solid black gothic Lolita kind of thing going on.
Now you're reminding me of the Phalanx Covenant in X-Men comics with oh my god, why do I always forget Warlock's fucking name, dude? I fucking love that arc, and it was like pseudo adapted in the fucking 90s animated TV show and shit, and it's like I love that too, and it's like I always forget Warlock, but yeah, man, big New Mutants vibes from this chick. But it is cool how we get these like personality traits that are like on the opposite side of the spectrum, where you have what is this dude's name again? What's his name?
Alexandria.
Yeah, you got Alexandria, who's like, hey, I love y'all, but I love my job more. And then you have Shura, who's like, I love my job, but I love the Yozakura family more. And it's like, I'll throw everything away for these people right now. And Buddy's like, I can't throw away my, profession for you guys, even though I fuck with y'all. So it's just like cool to get that opposite end of the spectrum dynamic inside of the higher ups here.
And I also did like I got big Shinzo vibes from the like her kind of weaponry here. But like Mello said, she also seems more like a cyborg, and like she's maybe just kind of integrated the technology more into herself than Shinzo has.
Look her hands.
See it like in her fucking face, like she's got the eye. Her hands, like one of her, a couple of her fingers are, feels like she could just be like with the gun right away.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she's got like a core on some Iron Man shit too, it looks like.
You do look like she got a little arc reactor in her chest area, which is always
like a
just
brooch pendant.
Yeah, super tight.
Whereas Shinzo, has still the technology that it uses for weaponry and shit, like that kind of blocky Roblox type beat,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
still completely separate from him.
Yeah. Yeah, Alexandria's introduction though, he grabs Shinzo by the titties, and it's like this scene just like does like so many things. It like works, it like serves so many like purposes, right? Because it's like one, we know like what kind of person, or like a little bit of what kind of person this character is as far as like quirky character traits go. So we get that, and it's comedy and it's funny. But then also Shinzo really does like throw him, you know, like against a wall and fucking Gomu no Gatling him, and he's just like casually like taking notes, like no damage basically, like in the wall. So we just like, okay, you're definitely gold rank. So it's like it just serves so many purposes in such a short amount of time.
Yes,
You know what I mean? It's like,
and that's just so fucking weird the way he comes up behind him. He's like, oh,
yeah,
53-inch bust, beautiful. You're growing nicely.
it's like,
Man,
get out of here,
that's
Hisoka.
If you don't get the
Dude,
Yeah.
he's a touchy feely dude. It's a little impersonal, like, you know, overstepping boundaries, being okay with like cutting off the Yozakura family for the sake of getting more clicks,
Yeah.
or like an avenue of like, oh, if you depend on us, then I can leverage that to get more information about you because you're a hot commodity.
Right.
Yeah,
In more ways
He's on
than
some
one.
pretty
He's-
prisoner type shit.
Purry prisoner.
Dude, I think it's funny that his name's like Ryu, and then he's just got these long, like, East Asian dragon,
Yeah, bro.
like, mustache going
He was
on.
like-
I'm like, wow, man.
Nah, bro. He
Look at
was
that.
like, yo. He was like, I don't just want a mustache. He was like, I want a mustache.
I want the mustache.
Yes.
He's got some Salvador Dali catfish thing.
Yeah,
going through,
Salvador
you know?
Dali catfish dragon man.
He's got a fucking face, dude.
That's funny as
Yo,
fuck, yeah.
big body ass motherfucker, bro.
Yeah.
He's big body like a motherfucker.
He thick.
Page 4, bottom panel, middle panel, where you see him standing behind Shinzo.
Yeah.
That boy, big body. You know
Bro,
what
this
I'm
dude's
saying?
like 7'5" or some kind of crazy shit. Maybe like 8 feet tall. I swear to God, like maybe like 450 pounds. Yeah,
I
tallest
love
than now.
50 straight muscle.
Yeah, dude's
Diesel.
thick.
Look at his fucking traps on the panel on, you know, where his nameplate panel on 5. His traps are just like, he's got just
Does that man
straight-
have a
they
neck
go right
or-
up to his
Yes.
ears, bro.
Yeah, no
Right up
neck,
to his fucking
just
ears,
meat.
No neck.
No neck.
meat, straight
Just
meat.
the. He's like, what if the Juggernaut was? Someone's like, what do you guys think the Juggernaut looks like without his helmet? And that's what they imagine. The helmet wasn't actually covering much, to be honest.
Dude, it's like when fucking like that really cringy like fan art of Yosemite Sam with his mustache shaven and it's actual meat flaps like coming from his like lips and
like
shit.
the fingers. Yeah,
Yeah,
they look
or like
tentacles,
there's
dude.
another one.
Art of Vegeta.
There's
when
another
when
one
he's
with
got his hair shaven off.
Yeah,
Like a
yeah.
cone.
Vegeta
Yeah.
with his hair shaven off, but like more along the lines of the Yosemite Sam one. There is one that I saw recently where it was Aladdin from the Disney movie Aladdin. You know, he has those big white baggy pants, and then it's like him wearing the pants, and then next to him is him with the pants off, and that's actually his legs are that shape of the
Just got
pants.
massive calves. Yeah.
Like gigantic fucking bulbous thighs, no knees, just fucking sacks of meat. The Juggernaut with no helmet is just this dude with his traps.
Just his
I'm
head.
fucking screaming.
Yeah.
funny as fuck.
Also, if you look on page the double spread in 8 and 9, look at his hand compared to Shinzo's hand when they're grappling.
Big
Eight
as
and
fuck.
Oh yeah, wow.
Dude, boy.
Shinzo's hand only takes up like half of his shit.
Oh
Yeah.
my
Half of his
god.
palm.
Yeah, that's
Dude,
a crazy visual to see Shinzo getting like big body bullied like that. Yeah.
yeah. I think it's funny because, like, when you think of, like, the archetype of, like, a newspaper or, like, an investigator or a journalist, you always think of, like, very, like, sly, more intellectual, not physically tough characters. And they went for this guy who is, A, tough as nails, B, big as fuck. How the fuck is he stealthing up on people to get any of these scoops?
Right, no, that's
like
that's
it's like Pink Panther level comical, you know? It's just
Yeah.
like, and I like that, like, you know, Shura is like, oh yeah, I'm part of the military industrial complex, but I'm cute.
Yeah,
and I
no.
don't, so like I think they like took, it was like if you imagined a person for this job, what would they look like? Give me the opposite of that.
Yeah, wow.
He's on some spec shit, man. And for Baki, spec is stealthy as fuck.
Oh, sure. I haven't seen Baki, but that sounds like some Baki shit. Like, big body, like, should be, like, shaking the ground when you take a step, but you're, like, super ninja stealthy. It's just like, damn.
Man.
Spec
What
is-
do you think about, like, 10-11? Momo just straight up starting a YouTube channel
Oh,
to, like,
God.
one-way broadcast his twisted form of love.
Yeah, this is like really awkward timing considering like the Buffalo shit that was like live streamed on Twitch. So I like saw this and I was just like, just took me like right back there. You know what I mean? Like that
Buffalo shit.
Yeah, there's like a massacre at a convenience store or grocery store in Buffalo, New York. Some like white supremacist asshole fucking like terrorists like fucking like killed like a bunch of black people at this grocery store, like super like racially motivated like white supremacist manifesto on his like social media
Like,
and shit. And he live streamed the whole shit on Twitch, bro. Like what a fucking monster, dude.
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
Yeah.
So
Dude,
it's
people like that.
Yeah.
We don't need people like that.
Right. I turned the page into 10 and I was just like, oh fuck.
Exactly.
I don't like talking about
Yeah.
wild shit, but like, and I know, especially that dead penalty shit, but like, man, people like that, we don't need that guy.
They should have just fucking shot him to death at the scene.
We can get him out of here, like, and just safely assume we'll be fine.
Yeah, straight up.
We gonna be all right without him.
Right, yeah. Like,
Dude,
yeah, just
no,
don't even
it's
take him
like-
to jail. Just fucking blow his fucking brains out.
Man. And it's just
On-site.
like, it's crazy stuff like that because
Yeah.
like it reminds me of, because like outside of like the real world like ramifications of like live streaming atrocities, because that is kind of where we're at as like a global internet society, like when that like Russian guy was assassinated and then people immediately memed the shit out of that guy because he was like pointing his hand up in the air and like hands on his hip and they're like, he looks like a disco guy, and I'm like, he just killed a man.
My God.
You know, and it was just like there's nothing like sacred about that stuff. And I think that having the aspect of social media and like YouTubing evil things is very dehumanizing.
Mhm.
Like the whole Jake Paul like thing in the Suicide Forest.
The Aokigahara
Like
shit.
yeah, that was awful. But then it
Clout's
like,
a
when
drug,
it come-
man.
Yeah. It just like it made me think of that stuff like where it's like very dehumanizing, and like Momo doesn't care about people. He literally says like, yeah, I just made like 100 bronze silver spies, wiped them out, dispose as many goons as you want, and no one will grieve. He's like, no one cares about those people, so I can get rid of them. That's like Jack the Ripper shit, you know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
they targeted prostitutes, people that were the most vulnerable,
Yeah.
and like a lot of serial killers do that because they're like, oh, I go after homeless people because no one will miss them. That kind
And
of
it's
stuff.
even
I feel like it's
crazier.
tragic.
Yeah, my bad. It's even crazier because Momo's design is very reminiscent of Jack the Ripper in Record of Ragnarok, now that you mentioned that. Oh my God. Like, if you look up Jack the Ripper Record of Ragnarok, like, it is Momo Yozakura. Like, that is fucking insane comparison right now.
Ragnarok.
So
Wow.
good. So,
I was
wait, the
I
manga?
started watching the anime.
Fuck the anime. No, run far away from the anime. Just read the manga. Oh my God.
Just read it.
Oh my God. The art is fucking beautiful. And,
I mean,
like,
It's
don't-
hard to
I'm like-
animate stuff that's like just really lush, gorgeous stuff. Like it'd be like, you know, people be like, "Hey, there's anime for Witch Hat Atelier," and I'm like, it depends on what group is running it.
yeah, it depends on the
You gotta
passion
tell me
level.
straight.
Yeah, because it's like the Record of Ragnarok anime. It's like I could only watch that shit for like a couple. I turned that shit off so quick. It's like coming from the manga. I was just like, dude, this is one of the prettiest manga I've seen in recent times. And to like see people reviewing and reacting to the Record of Ragnarok anime, and it's just like still motion, like, or like, yeah, like still images for like, you know, the fight scenes and shit. Like they just like cut corners on the budget like drastically for that adaptation, and it's like, no, you gotta go like all in like Sakuga all the time for a
Oops,
story
all
like
stills.
this. Yeah, like oops, all stills, exactly. I was just like, ew, dude, why the fuck would you do that? It's like, put some fucking passion into this shit, man. Don't just jump on an adaptation because it's the hottest fucking IP at the time. Like, let's crank this out as quick as possible. We need to. It's just like, dude, come on, man. What happened to the love? What happened to the TLC?
Exactly.
Anyway, Yeah.
But like the
I feel like
Momos.
it's overworked animators, you know.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
sure.
think
Yeah, overworked animators could be a thing too. But I mean, like, it all just comes back to like, man, work
what if
inside
people
of your
invest in?
means. Yeah, like,
Yeah. What if? Yeah.
yeah.
But like what you're talking about as far as rushing shit out, it has more to do with bosses and investors that are like, yo,
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
gonna put out the
definitely
most
not like
quality, get this
blaming the
shit out.
animators for like for like making a poor adaptation. It's definitely, you know, like not like their fault probably at the end of the day, like definitely not or whatever, but it's just like these whoever's making these decisions just seem to be like jumping like as quickly as they can to grab a fucking IP to like churn out an
Yeah.
adaptation
Yeah.
just instantly. And it's like it's the adaptations like suffer a lot of the times because
Oh
of that.
yeah.
Like
Well.
look at Akame ga Kill. You know what I mean? It's like you didn't even like that shit was a fucking monthly and you caught up to the source material by like episode 18 in your 26 episode season and then you just made up the rest of the ending because you couldn't wait for the fucking series to finish before you adapted it. Like go to hell.
Yeah, that's the whole Full Metal Alchemist thing, you know?
Yeah.
Like, they caught up so hard. That's why DBZ had hour-long streaming chat sessions.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
but back to 10 and 11.
Yes.
Um, there's a couple series. I read, like, a lot of random series, and I'll give it, like, probably more time than I should. But some series are just, like, they're so horrible that you're morbidly curious to see how the rest of it plays out. Like there's a series called Dead Tube. I'm gonna just straight up say content warning. It is awful.
Oh
It
damn.
has
I heard
it
about
has
this.
it has so much murder. It has so much shock value, like sexual assault
Oh
out the
no.
ass.
Oh
It's
no.
horrifying.
Oh damn.
It was one of those series like it starts out as like it basically started out as like someone was giving like $1 million prize to a video that gets the most likes, and these people get caught up in like this social hysteria, and like it just becomes like it's like here's a hot person eating ice cream, here's me giving money to the homeless for likes, here's me saving a cat that I put up there, that kind of stuff. And then it like escalated and it kept escalating, and I was like, oh
Oh,
no, I
that
don't
does
like
sound like
this.
that sounds like a crazy concept for a story, I'm not gonna lie, but like if you just like take that opportunity to just throw like gratuitous sexual assault into the story, it's like
Yeah,
you're a fucking
it
weirdo.
was like, okay, I wanted to check it out because I was like, oh, this might be interesting, and I was like, oh, this is too
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
cringe, gross,
You blew
grotesque.
it.
I
You
say
had a good
grotesque.
idea, but you blew it.
Yeah, it was pretty grotesque. There's another series called How to Fight, which is a lot less horrible, um, and it's about a young kid who basically finds um, a YouTube tutorial series about like how to fight. No one's seen it. He's the first one to find it, and he starts a YouTube channel of him practicing the moves that he learns from this YouTube channel to like fight bullies, and then it escalates. And
Hmm.
like and it covers like how social media can like take a picture, add a caption, and how that can be used to like manipulate the masses, and how you can try to like portray yourself as the good person or bad person, or like control the narrative, etc. So like it makes me think of this what Momo's doing, because he has to he's making this video for his family to like say, hey, this is the thing. But is he really doing it for his family, or is he doing it to call out his family, to make them ostracized, to be pariahs socially, so that they have like he's getting them kicked out of the spy association with very minimal effort on his part, and that gives him, it's like the wound and replace tactic that abusers use, where they're like, oh, hey, I'm going to break up your friendship here, and now that there's this void where you used to invest your time and emotions into this friendship, I'm going to step up into that place, and then we can all be one big happy Momo family. And
Oh
I'm like, I
shit.
see you shady fuck.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, man, this shit is wild. We were talking about like what this is going to look like, you know, in the last chapter or whatever, and I feel like we were pretty close
Pretty
like,
spot on.
yeah, like as far as like, because like all that's missing is for Momo to like pull up after this and be like, okay, so everyone hates y'all, everyone hates me, let's team up and do something about it as a family, right? Like that's literally the
Mhm.
only thing that we were kind of like missing at this
Mhm.
point from like our predictions last week. But
That's a long-term goal, I think.
yeah,
It's we got time for it to pan out where he
yeah,
tries to extend that rotten olive branch.
right.
Um,
Rotten olive branch, yes,
Straight
nice,
up.
nice.
Um,
Yeah, shit's wild, man. Okay,
things.
Yeah, I
so
love that.
yeah.
I love that it kind of devolves into like it looks like Alexandria and Futaba are about to fuck Shura up together. Like Futaba tries to like mediate the situation. Shura's
Yeah.
like, "Hey, shut the fuck up," and she's like, "Oh, oh,
Okay. So
okay,
we got to do
huh?
this. Yeah.
Yeah." And Ryu's still like, he's like,
Yeah. Yeah. He's like, I was the original target, and I'm still here. Like y'all are fighting now, but like I'm still with it. You know what I'm saying? What we doing?
and Kyoichiro's just like, "Hey, this shit's a waste of time, bro. Like, I ain't even trying to talk about this shit. I don't give a fuck what y'all on. We finna survive regardless. Like, we
Yeah.
finna thrive, survive."
Right. The Yozakura family will be fine. And even there was like a line of dialogue where, hold on, who said it? It was like, don't even worry about it. It's like I gotta tell on y'all, and I gotta like go through with the whole shit about or not tell on you, but it's like I'm going to take the side of the organization or whatever. But you guys will be cool. Like you guys can totally survive if we cut your funding and if we take all of our stuff back. Like you're the Yozakura family. Like you'll be all right. You know what I mean? And Kyoichiro basically is like, yeah, we will be. So like fuck all of this anyway. And that's just
Yeah.
like that's just cool.
So on page like 18, so do you think the president asked Tayo to be present so that he and Shinzo could be more stabilizing, emotionally stabilizing forces for the more hot-headed groups, the members of the group? Because he, as a spy master, president of the spy organization, he should know how those people are going to interact. He knows that Shinzo can like talk to Alexander Ryu. He knows that he needs Tayo or someone similar to get Futaba to be more willing to back down. You can see them
Yeah.
literally defusing that group, and he's like, and he's predicted all this, right?
Yeah.
He expected, Koichiro's response. He's like, okay, cool. I've made as much of a game field as I have. I've set myself up for an optimal pitch, and it's like we were talking about that earlier, but Sakamoto Days about like, hey, an assassin's job is to set yourself up for an optimal shot. And it's like, it's kind of interesting that he's treating this conversation, this meeting, as like a little bit of like a hit.
Yeah, I think it's a combination of what you're saying about like why Izumo invited Tayo and whatnot. I think it's a combination of that plus whatever he's going to say in the next chapter, right? Because on the last page he's like, "Well, I guess it's my turn," right? That's him saying that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
So
him thinking that.
yeah, him thinking that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I think that like Izumo will have his turn to, kind of get in his bag or whatever, and that's part of the reason why he wants Tayo there is to either hear that or tell him something specifically or whatever in relation to what the future plans are. Yeah.
Or
Yeah, I
maybe
think
he'll even just be like, "Hey, Tile, what you think, bro?"
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so because I think that Zumo, I think, is gonna play the role of the statesman, right? He's gonna be like, "Hey, I'm going to kind of mediate this discussion and figure out things, but I'm going to ask leading questions and loaded questions to like get some more of the responses that I want, and hopefully we can end this peacefully."
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Super
Either way, I
interesting,
definitely
though.
can. Yeah, I was just gonna say either way, I definitely can't wait to say how things play out for sure.
Yeah.
Loving the gold rank spy meeting, but I don't know. There's just more, even in this little bit of like kind of inner monologue we get from Izumo at the end. He's like, "Oh, but this is just the beginning. Believe it or not, these are some of the more reasonable gold rank spies." That just alludes to there being more than just who we see here.
Yeah, for sure.
But we also have not heard again. One,
The other
two,
four.
three of 4 of the fucking 10 even say a word.
Yeah.
aside from Shure from the Skype guy, the
Yeah,
fucking
the
Zoom guy.
Skype guy. Yeah, I think the rest of them, get their speaking roles next chapter, which is pretty
Yeah,
exciting.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what's up with the Skype buddy. Because like
I
if this
can't
is
wait to
if this
see-
is gold rank genius hacker, you know what I mean? Basically like, gold rank version of
Shion.
Shion. Yeah, I'm trying to see that shit because I love characters like that. The hacker characters
Well,
always speak to me.
Yeah, definitely guy in the chair type
As
shit. I
just
can't
like as
wait
a
to see-
cyberpunk fan. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I
Mhm.
can't wait to see the sleeping bag chick wake up and say some shit, or even what wakes her up.
Yeah.
Because characters like this who sleep in situations like this are always so badass. Sometimes where the situation that makes her wake up, I just wonder what it's gonna be.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm genuinely wondering what the deal with the woman sitting next to Koichiro is because she looks like a TV weather announcer, or like
Yeah.
the head of the PTA, just plain as day, very prim, proper, professional, and I'm just imagining them to just be like the coldest and just a harsh person, right?
Yeah, probably gonna
I
have
want to
like
see
really
that
harsh
opposite
dialogue.
reaction.
Yeah.
I bet we expel them. We can't be associated with anything this messy. No.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't even think that. It's just like I think that it's gonna be like because there's been so many subversions with character type, I want them to be just like not
opposite
harsh and cold.
personality of their aesthetic. Yeah.
Yeah, so they might be like, oh, decorum, and they just might like swear like a delinquent, like.
Oh, sure, yeah.
They like their first line bubble is like, guys, this is, and it's just blacked out censor bars
straight profanity.
for like,
yeah.
I wonder
you know what I mean?
if she's not gonna be kind of like Mutsumi's parallel character.
Oh,
organized.
She does
She
kind of
looks
look like
calm,
a
collected,
mature Mutsumi. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't even think about
But I
that.
don't
That's tight.
I think that's about all I had for this chapter, man.
I think I'm good too.
Same.
I think we squeezed blood from a stone on this one.
Yeah. Yeah, good shit.
All right. Well, with that, I think we can go ahead and get right into the third chapter of the night, chapter 189 of Jujutsu Kaisen, Tokyo number 2 Colony, part 8.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is nuts, man. Hikari versus Kashimo, dude.
This has gone on longer than I thought, and it's amazing. I'm
Yeah,
so
and
happy.
it's so good the whole time. It's just like, oh man, like what is going to happen? How is this going to conclude? You just like can't tell.
It's crazy to me because people have I've seen series where they dedicate like final boss level amount of chapters. Like they have like final boss fights that are like 4 chapters deep. This isn't even the boss fight.
Right.
It's like 3 chapters.
Yes.
Right.
And a thing that I appreciate a lot about this fight is that, like, yes, it's a lot of like, if you simplify it, it's them fighting, Hikari using his invincibility, running out of it, and kind of rinse repeating the domain invincibility thing and whatnot, and like they're just kind of like fighting throughout that back and forth and whatnot. But there is throughout all of these like moments of resetting the fight back to the domain, there's always like a new interesting angle inside of the strategy that like Kashimo, tries to take to get through this immortality. You know what I mean? And in this one, there's just like a lot like more content than like a lot more man, I'm having a hard time finding words right now, but it's just like a lot deeper and more complicated.
More nuance.
Yeah, a lot more nuanced than like, because it's such a meat-headed fight at the end of the day too. But it's also, who said it? It was Shads. It was Shads on Twitter who said these Jujutsu Kaisen fights are like playing chess and Smash Bros at the same time. And I was just like, damn, you killed it. That's exactly like what I'm trying to say right now, and that's exactly what it is. Yeah.
Man, I love the fact that he was still alive before he hit the ground, And then the double jackpot Ricci, or like the instant jackpot. Apparently that's a thing in pachinko where like there's chances of like if you catch these like in flashing light indicators in time, you can like slap them to like get increased probability, and there's like built-in jackpots. So there is a level of skill in addition to that like you can increase your odds, and that's why pachinko machines are so addictive in Japan. As someone was talking about on Twitter about that.
That's cool.
The translator's note that we get on it is, I don't know, he says, an unexpected jackpot due to hidden probability. A pachinko mode that appears similar to faster spins, but actually carries increased probability. A player can tell by looking at the segment display. So,
yeah,
I don't know, more pachinko shit that you would have to understand the game to know, more about. But
yeah, because it's like it looks like it's doing something else, but it's actually increased probability. Is like kind of like just like the only thing that I really took away from that. It's like, Kashimo, what does Kashimo say beforehand? He's like, how sad, he's making a desperate attempt to cast a domain expansion, but all he'll get are faster spins, not increased probability. So like, even though the domain kind of like puts all of the information about pachinko into the mind of the opponent, you still have to play the game after learning it. And that's why he's like, oh, okay, yeah, it's another domain expansion, but based on my understanding of this game, it's just going to be, like faster spins or whatever, not increased probability, so we're probably not going to see a jackpot here. But then, it's faux faster spins. It's like, oh, okay, it's just faster spins, all right, I'm clean, I'm good, it's like, I'm all right. But wait, no, it's the hidden probability, thing or whatever. So it's like, oh, okay, it's a good way to subvert that.
Yeah, I like that he has like the instant jackpot up his sleeve doing that. And I really appreciate the part on page 4 where you can see the crack at the top of the subspace that the domain is starting to break because he's already achieved jackpot immediately. And I was like, here it comes. And I really like how he handled Kashimo. Like, it was like, how do I deal with this? Like, you are super deadly.
Yeah.
How do I fucking get rid of you?
Yeah, and him talking about, like, shifting the barrier coordinates, like, I had no idea that was a thing that domain expansion users could even do. Like, that was just, like, I, like, read that, and I was just like, holy shit, like, how do you even do that? Like, how do you know, like, do you just, like, have, like, an awareness of the world outside the domain even when you're in it, and like all of your visual stimuli are like this pocket dimension that you create for your domain? Like, you can't see outside. Like, how do you know how far to go? Like, how do you know how far to move it? How do you move it? I'm just like asking like so many questions about that one line of dialogue. Did he shift his barriers coordinates? And like Kashimo is saying it like it's like something that's just like a thing, and it obviously is a thing.
Easily.
But yeah, and it's just like, damn, it's like, what the fuck? Did we know this before? It made me like want to go back and read the series again, because I'm like, no, I like, what is this? Yeah, I was like so thrown off by that.
Yeah, the fact that he shifted the coordinates of his barrier to drop him into the sea, hoping it would act as like a conductor for his cursed energy, being that it acts like electricity, was definitely a brilliant ass move. And that's always one of my favorite things inside of Jujutsu Kaisen's combat is like the super high intelligence levels of the combatants, obviously, and then the high tier like tactical fucking maneuvers in the fights.
Yeah.
Always love to see it so much. Reminds me of fucking Hunter x Hunter a lot, which is we've talked about a lot. And in some cases fucking throws you for a loop, like you said. Like, they can do this? What the fuck? Yeah.
Like, not even just Hunter x Hunter too. Like, I feel like I'll be hearing people say that this is what like JoJo. These are what like JoJo fights are like. What's up, Mello?
I just realized. So like, if Hikari can use Idle Death Gamble and shift the coordinates, that should apply to the colonies as well. And Kenjaku should be able to shift the coordinates. So if they do this thing where they get China to like nuke Japan, what if he just moves the coordinates at the last second and like incites like a world war?
Because it like hits a different location than it was supposed to. Like...
It doesn't hit the targets that were wanted, Yeah,
I mean, it is all barrier techniques at the end of the day, so.
Yeah, so like anything that Hikari's domain could do, I assume can like, not anything it can do, but like the basic abilities that any domain has been shown to do, I assume that the colony itself can do, because we've already had the whole thing where they enter a barrier and then they immediately get randomly teleported. So like movement and like spatial manipulation has already been touched on. and it makes me think like, where's the upper limit to that?
Yeah.
Could he temporarily, like, you know, teleport all the contestants participants out of the way, out of harm's way, and then send them somewhere else, and like, or right back where they were, and be like, yeah, no, you should survive at this point, but you're gonna have to use like your cursed energy to like survive, I don't know, radiation. Like, this is gonna cull out the weak ones, right? The ones that don't have the stamina to like output cursed energy 100% of the time to like survive the environment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This shit is
so.
It is wild, man.
Kashimo, man, so fucking beastly, dude. The fact that he's like, shit, I'm in the water now. I can either like shut my cursed energy off or fucking just let it get all released into the water. But the fact that he like stays underwater and uses his cursed energy to cause like a chemical reaction with the salt water that emits chlorine gas that knocks Hikari out while he's like hovering over the top, man. Super impressive, like adaptability within the fight. And flexibility to see from Kashimo in like a back against the wall type situation. What was the chemical reaction called?
Electrolysis.
Electrolysis. Okay.
What was I swear to God, I was just talking about this in another. I think this was in Eden Zero. In like one of my like recent live reactions to Eden Zero, there's a similar situation going on. I can't remember exactly, but yeah, it's just like weird timing. But yeah, what the tightest thing about it is that he's like, I can release my curse energy until it's gone or shut it off until I return to land. And when I read that, I was like, okay, so he's probably going to keep his cursed energy on and just hope that Hikari falls into it so that he like they're all getting zapped. You know what I mean? But then like Hikari, you know, catches a ride on the fucking you know, cursed energy, like, you know, flying fish or whatever the fuck that shit is.
Well, it's
and
just
like,
a random cursed spirit, right? That they're all in the water because they said that.
Or that's what I mean.
Colony has like the highest concentration of random cursed spirits.
Right. That So like, okay, hold on one second. So I originally thought that Kashimo's plan was to keep his cursed energy on in the chance that Hikari would also fall in with him and then just get zapped, because then when you turn the page into when he hits the water, the electricity is buzzing. I was like, okay, so he definitely kept his cursed energy on. So he's like, but the Hikari is like, you know, not going to fall in because he's on the fish. Like, did he get outplayed? And then no, the electrolysis like comes in and it's like, oh, he like totally planned that. And I was just like, it's like that kind of like, you don't know what's going to happen yet. Like, never let like someone know your next move. That I just like love about Jujutsu Kaisen combat, because it's like, I totally thought that was his plan, was like, fuck it, keep the cursed energy on and hope he falls in. But it's like, no, he's going to fall in regardless of whether he jumps in the water or hitches a ride on this cursed flying fish thing because of the electrolysis. And it's just like, oh my God, that's so five-headed.
Man, I just think it's crazy that like an ancient Heian era sorcerer like knew about chemical, like the first chemical warfare gas, right? Like that shit was made in like 1915.
Yeah, didn't they call it like mustard gas or some shit?
It's basically that. It's the first war. It's the first major war crime in like the beginning of the industrialization of the military conflict.
Yeah, I remember they used that, and then like afterwards they were like, we gotta all agree to never do that again.
Yeah. I mean that's how they felt about fucking flamethrowers.
Yeah,
they're like, oh, this is using for terrain. Oh, that's cruel. I don't like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. All that shit. They're like, yeah, we gotta. That's a little too crazy.
Yeah.
But I mean, it blew me away because I was like, they're old, you know, like. How did they gain this knowledge? Or
well, didn't
how
they say
long
that
have they been around?
Yeah.
I thought it was stated that they got kind of like a knowledge dump.
They did.
When they were spawned back to real life, you know, kind of like a bridging knowledge dump from the time they were, you know, they kind of learned about everything.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was just going to say that.
Time.
Yeah, I was just going to say that, like, if you're an old sorcerer that's getting reincarnated in this time for the culling game, as soon as you're, like, reawakened, like Kenjaku gives you like an info dump about like what you've missed since you've been gone, basically like what the state of the world is like you know, specific like information that's going to be like the most valuable, you know, to you about the current times. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, that's crazy to think about. Like having like knowledge downloaded into you. Like I know we've had the concept around forever, you know, the Matrix and stuff. I get it.
I was just gonna say, yeah.
But like that's crazy that like Kashimo is just like, hey, oh, I'm in the ocean? Yeah, okay, what do I know about the ocean? And because of that like fresh info dump, despite having so much information being, you know, transported to their brain, they're able to parse and like think of something that is actually practically useful. And like immediately I'm like, is it because it's all fresh? Like how is your brain different due to Kenjaku's like tampering, right? Because I think about like things like halfway through our segment sometimes and I'm like, how did I think of that? Holy crap.
Yeah, I think it's a combination of because the information is fresh and they're just that built different. You know what I'm saying? Like these are, you know, like even back then, even though technology, you know, and information wasn't, you know, at the level that it was back when these people were living, you know, regularly, like they are still like the most, like these are still some of the most like adept, like smart people, you know, of their time. So like you just put them, you know, into the future and give them all the information they need for the times, and they're still that, you know, frighteningly adept, smart character that they were like 400, 500 years ago with just like new information to deal with. So,
I mean, it's a little bit like Sakamoto, you know, and using like mechanical pencils. Nothing is truly safe in the hands of a weaponized mind.
Yeah,
like,
there you go.
And Kashimo is such a smoke demon that he's just like, I want to fight Sukuna.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I bet you have a lot of murder on your mind, bud. Like,
yeah. And just like the personality of Kashimo is just like so cool throughout this entire fight. Like every time he thinks he's got, you know, Hikari dead to rights, he's got this like look. Like I don't know how to explain the look, but like he always just like looks at his opponent like, I fucking killed you. Yeah, it's over. It's another Tuesday. Like it was a good fight, but like I'm Kashimo. You know what I'm saying? And like, yeah, like, and in this one on like page 15, so now the round ends and he's killable again and he just like floats like down in front of Kashimo, and Kashimo, just this look on that top left panel, you know, and then even the bottom panel, but it's been fun. Like, I don't know. I feel like
another example of him like looking through the hole that you were talking about last review.
Type shit, yeah. Yeah, like he's always like got like, I don't, it's really hard for me to explain, but
that it's just like yard stare.
Yeah, it's just such a cool fucking like character to just be like so confident in your ability to murder people, and like you like it just says so much about how many fights this dude has been in. You know what I mean? Like how many people has Kashimo like actually killed? You know what I mean? It's just like such a chilling like vibe that I get from his character, just in the art of his facial expressions and in certain moments, because throughout this whole entire fight, like Gege has been dedicating like multiple panels for this kind of moment, you know what I mean, like for Kashimo's character, and it just makes him feel that much better as a character and just like more threatening as like a force of nature in the culling game. Like
he definitely feels like that, because the only times he is like truly expressive in showing any emotion and like joy or just like amusement is when he's trying to hurt someone.
Right.
Like every other time he's just like coldly dispassionate, like, well, you've been weighed, you've been measured, and you've been found lacking. Like, next.
Yeah, like, type shit. Yeah, and it's just like so cool and cold-blooded. Yeah.
He's
like,
terrifying.
Gege really knows how to craft a like threatening, like imposing, confident character.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting we've talked about the whole like breakdown on poisons as a way to kill a sorcerer. I know it's been touched on before, like through the 13 like blood brothers, you know, the 13 cursed children.
It 13? I thought it was 9.
9?
The Curse Womb Death Paintings or whatever.
But
you have Choso and Urame at the end of Shibuya, where he hit her with the fucking like piercing blood, and then like it went into the hand, and then like she effortlessly blocked it, but then minutes later she starts coughing up blood like poison. God damn it! And it's like, we know you got reverse curse techniques, so it's like, how's that fucking you up? But then we also have like we have the hidden inventory like Gojo flashback arc, where he like they came out of the Star Plasma stuff, and like it was like weeks later, and Gojo was like, hey, I got this like mental floss thing going where like I can keep my limitless on at all times while like cleaning my brain to make sure that I can like keep this shit going at all times. Now the only thing I need to figure out is how to like, discern what's poison and what's not, because that's like, a really like major thing when it comes to regenerative healing powers inside of reverse curse techniques. So it's like I got to figure that out next. You know what I mean? Like they've subtly touched on, just how powerful poison is even to high tiers in this series.
It makes me think about how it gives me hope for Nobara, right? Because of how they're talking about how as long as the brain stays intact and you can think, you can heal from that. And yeah, she got like basically shot through the eye, but like there's a chance because during like the special inventory that you mentioned, he was talking about like, oh, I don't understand how the reverse curse technique until this moment, near the moment of my death. So like that's a point, and that's one tick. And he's talking about like the person in the flashback is like, oh yeah, I get the feel for it now. And then when like Nobara was fighting the cursed womb paintings, they're like, oh, I've got the feel for it now, tick 2. And now we have Hikari's like, oh, this kind of level of like regenerative ability can be subconscious. Boom, now we have the 3 ticks, and I feel like eventually Nobara might be making like a surprise showing sometime near the end of this arc or like middle of this arc when things need to be shaken up a little bit.
Yeah, I definitely think Nobara like is gonna have like a super epic entrance into the culling game at some point. I don't know which colony she'll show up in, or maybe she doesn't participate in the culling game at all, and maybe we just get like I feel like you don't reveal that she's still alive in the culling game arc if you don't have her participate, I want to say, maybe. But I saw someone talking about like a really cool idea on Twitter, I think is where I saw it, where like her grandma or like her guardian, like back in the boonies, you know what I mean, like heard about Shibuya, like pulled up and was like, you sorcerers are fuck, you city motherfuckers are getting my granddaughter killed or some shit. I'm taking her back to the sticks. You know what I'm saying? You could tell everybody that she died if you want, but like this ain't what we thought it was going to be. You guys are wiling over here. This is a way bigger situation than I thought I was sending, my granddaughter to, and I'm just taking her back to the crib. And I think it would be cool if like to get a break from the action, we could, travel over there just to get that information, if that is the way that it was going to be written or whatever. I really liked that idea. But then at the same time, it's like, man, do you really just like take a break from the culling game to show that and then like not have her pull up to it eventually? Yeah, so I feel like she definitely, and also it's like, man, if we finish this entire arc with no mention of Nobara, it's like, how am I gonna feel about that? It's like you're gonna wait till the end of the arc before you like give us like any kind of like confirmation. I feel like she has to pull up eventually.
I'm expecting it now that like we've had this kind of talk about like the brain and reverse curse technique and like how Hikari's able to, regenerate. We've kind of had a couple establishments of that kind of stuff, so like I'm expecting it now. Because like Jujutsu Kaisen's full of those throwaway comments.
Yeah.
Or like it like Hikari's domain, a lot of things get lost in that giant plug of information each and every time, and I'm like, wait a second.
Yep.
Starts to connect. It's like,
when is this offhanded dialogue going to come back to impact things significantly? Yeah.
I feel it. And like, Gege can do the slow roll. Like, I didn't realize that this entire fight was basically a JoJo reference.
Really?
Because like Yato was talking about it in Discord, and he mentions like, yeah, no, like the whole dumping Kashimo in the ocean basically is like how Josuke from Diamond is Unbreakable defeated Red Hot Chili Pepper, Akira Atoishi in JoJo's Bizarre Adventures. Sorry, spoilers.
Well, it's also reminiscent of Moral versus Leol in the Chimera Antarc too.
Yes, absolutely. I felt that too with like the monoxide part. Yeah, that was so good.
That was like one of my favorite parts of like the pre-invasion Chimera Antarc.
I love that. And so like there's that, and then you know, like how Star Platinum pops up the stands, they do like the flurry of blows, and I was like thinking about like last chapter. I'm like, oh, when they were punching the, you know, contain like giant container shipping container back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
That was because they were doing that same sort of like flurry too, and then having this like red hot chili pepper into the ocean kind of solution. I was like, oh wait, this has been a reference like the entire time. All of, like the musical poses and everything
Oh man,
with
yeah.
him like juicing out on cursed energy, and it's just
Juicing
like,
out.
I mean, he was like, you had the moment where he's just like,
Yeah,
it's like,
he's got the Hisoka moment. He's doing a lot of these kind of like
yeah,
poses and shit like that. Yeah, I
when
could
the
totally
Molly
see
kicks
it.
in. Oh
When the
yeah.
Molly kicks in, yeah. Funny as hell.
Oh man.
Yeah, I saw somebody online earlier today say that Kashimo is like so broken that not even Sukuna could like survive the brain zap or whatever from Kashimo and
Mm,
shit. And I was just like, damn. Like, and I thought
I
about
don't
it. I was
know,
like,
man.
could Sukuna survive something like you want to just say it's Sukuna, so of course, but like they did make a pretty big deal about talking about like what kind of feat it was that Hikari did, react the way he did when his brain was about to be exploded and how he expelled the cursed energy out of his nose and whatnot because the
mm-hmm.
infinite cursed energy was flowing and the reverse curse technique was automatic and how Sukuna, for all we know, doesn't have that capability or whatever. But at the end of the day, it's like he's got to plant these fucking charges on Sukuna with his bare hands first, and it's like, no.
You get diced.
Like,
You
yeah,
don't.
I don't think Kashimo even like gets a situation where he can place charges on Sukuna in the first place. So like even if
Oh.
Sukuna doesn't have the infinite reverse curse technique brokenness, that Hikari has here, it's like I still just don't think that Kashimo can meet the conditions to even zap him. You know what I mean? Like Sukuna's so confident in his speed that he told Jogo, if you land even one hit on me, I'll fuck with you. And Jogo didn't land a single hit on
No.
Sukuna, and Jogo's speed is like nothing to sneeze at, bro. Like he
Yeah.
was fucking flexing on all of them coming out of Dagon's domain. And sure, they were tired, weak, and it was basically element of surprise. But at the end of the day, that motherfucker was still zip zapping around with a projection sorcerer
Yeah.
on the loose. So
Mm-hmm. Old
it's
man Fushiguro. Yeah.
yeah, so it's
I
like
mean,
old man Zenin,
Zenin. Yeah. Old man Zenin.
yeah,
Yeah.
Naobito, yeah, and it's like sure, Naobito was tired and nerfed. He only had one arm, yada yada. There was a line of
But
dialogue that
still, he's
specifically
so
said
fast.
he's not as tight as he would be with two hands and whatnot, whatever. But still, like I don't think that Kashimo is going to be able to put these charges on Sukuna enough to fucking conjure the lightning bolt in the first place. So
Well,
no.
do you think that his original plan was to have the Nyoibo staff and basically have Sukuna in between him and the staff
Yeah, sure.
and be like, I don't need to touch you. It would be really nice, but like I know you'll dice everything within like a general radius,
Yeah, I think
maybe
Kashimo
further than
goes
I
to.
think.
I think Kashimo goes to aim the fucking staff at Sukuna and just fucking loses the arm, and probably the staff.
And
Probably get
everything else.
cleave for the arm, dismantle for the staff, all one swoop. You're turned into fucking
Well,
Roblox. Like I could totally see
no,
that.
he was talking about the move he just hit Hikari with, where he's just between the staff and like
Oh
he
sure.
kind of brings the charge back through him.
Oh sure. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I mean, like he had Hikari in that situation and fucking aimed it through his fucking like ribs or whatever. So it's like why
Mhm.
not just fucking go for the brain every single time when you're doing this zap technique? You know what I mean? So I mean,
Oh,
Well, I
obviously
don't
he
think it was
couldn't.
the same technique.
I
Or
mean, it's
The
like
previous
based
technique where he
like
hit the brain
yeah,
was like a separate thing from him like drawing the accumulated cursed energy within the staff back to himself.
right. So what I'm saying is that like if in the regular circumstances where he's throwing hands with you and placing the positive charges on you, that is when he tried to blow up Hikari's brain. But then after he recovered from that, Hikari just fucking steamrolled him, with combos or whatever, and he never put any new positive charges on him. But then the Nyoibo staff recall, zapped him through like the ribs or whatever. And it's like did that not go to the head or the brain or whatever because it's like on the ground and like the height of the staff you know, combined with Hikari's height, just like put the current like at the ribs or whatever. It's like if Kashimo wanted to try the same thing against Sukuna, he would have to be trying to target the brain, because he's not going to put the positive charges on him in hand-to-hand combat. I promise you that right now. So if he did try to recreate those circumstances that allowed him to zap Hikari from far away with the recall, with the staff behind him, it's like, how is that current going to reach the brain if it's following like a path that the top of it is just the height of the staff in the ground? You'd have to like place the staff like high enough to where the trajectory could even like go through Sukuna's like head or whatever. And that's just like a lot of conditions to like meet to like try to get this brain zap off on Sukuna. And I just don't think Sukuna is going to give him the opportunity to do any of that.
Ashimo was kind of crouched down. I think it just has to do with, like you said, the fact that the staff is in the ground kind of leaning, and Kashimo is crouched down. It seems like the pathing is like to his hands, kind of. Yeah. So he's like kind of crouched low. His hands are even with Hikari's abdomen, which is why that's the pathing it takes. I think.
Oh, sure. So you think that even if the staff was like barely poking out of the ground, if Kashimo's hand is at your head, the current will meet him at his hand and then go through the head. Sure. Okay.
Something like that.
Okay. Yeah, that's cool.
I had the double page spread.
Yeah, that's tight.
Last chapter, pulled up 16 and 17. You can see. Yeah. You know, better what's kind of going on.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, definitely. He could try to get Sukuna like that. You know what I'm saying? He could definitely try to blow his brains out like that. But at the same time, it's like, man, is Sukuna falling for that? I don't know.
The head is small.
The head is small.
It's easy to miss. Like, I think that he was like, you know what, fuck it, I'll just go for the torso. He's not going to survive this. I don't need to flex on him. Winning's enough. And I think he just went for the body blow on Hikari because he's like, well, you're mobile, so like I might as well go for the biggest target and hope for the best.
Right. Plus he had to like time the invincibility like wearing out and whatnot. There was like a whole lot of like stimuli involved and a whole lot of calculations to make. And and Kashimo definitely, you know, seems to be able to pull off whatever he needs to in a fight. But as far as like getting the brain zap on Sukuna, I feel like that's quite a tall order.
But yeah, so he grabs Hikari here at the end and just discharges at all of his cursed energy. It looks like maybe like big explosion of electricity under the water.
Yeah, which is crazy because it's like when we before the electrolysis stuff, it's like Hikari was floating over the fucking ocean, and the energy was being discharged out. Who knows how long he was like floating up there before the electrolysis hit him and he like fell into the ship. But it's like, damn, I thought like all of your shit was being like sucked out of you. How do you still have this much at this point? You know what I mean? Like because they're underwater the whole time after Hikari falls in, and like is his cursed energy still being shot out, or did he like after Hikari like fell, after he knew that the electrolysis was affecting him, did he like shut off his shit at that moment because he figured the fight was over? Then Hikari discharged it out of his nose again and started fighting him again, and then he's like, okay, I can turn it back on for this moment. It looks like that's actually exactly what's happening.
I think that is pretty much what's happening, because on page 13 too, we get this bottom left panel where the narration says, you know, what about chlorine being the first deadly poison. It says, while suppressing cursed energy leakage as much as possible, Kashimo used electrolysis on the seawater to generate the chlorine gas. And then, like you said, I think when he drops in, he probably cuts it off completely because he figures the fight's over. His brain is dead from the poison gas. And then Hikari turns the fuck up and just wow.
Well,
and then he's like, "Oh, okay, you're still alive. All right, fuck it. This one's for all the marbles." Boom. They
talk about depend on the concentration of the exposure. It can be fatal within like just a few minutes.
Yeah. I don't imagine it was long, just because the fights always, you know, things move quickly within these fights. I can't imagine it was any more than maybe 30, 40 seconds, long enough for, you know, Hikari to be like, okay, he's been under there kind of a long time. I mean, he could still be holding his breath, but like, what's he doing with his cursed energy? And then all of a sudden he's like, hey, what the falls in.
It's apparently it can kill you in 5 minutes. Like straight up kill you. But then otherwise, other symptoms include like blisters, rashes, blinding, like tear ducts turning on you, nausea, vomiting, like it causes you to throw up pretty quickly.
Damn.
I mean, shoot. It's a nasty business. Like,
Yeah, that shit's fucked up.
Kashimo doesn't play around. The thing
Not
that
at all.
I thought was super weird was page 12. It's the flying fish monster that they have going on. It's got that weird face like terraformers, you know?
Terraform.
Like,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, it's got that face. I don't like that face.
Yeah.
It's just a face on a fish. I don't like
Yeah.
it.
I saw fucking Easter Island at first, but yeah, it's definitely a lot more like Terraform Mars now that you say that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Ew.
If there's a series called Omniscient Viewpoint of the Reader, I believe it's a Korean series. It's on Webtoons.
I think I've heard of that. Omniscient Reader is how I've heard of it. Yeah.
Honestly, I really like it. But they have this scene where like people are like, "Let's escape off the island. We need to get off this thing," and just giant sea creatures come up, and I'm like, "Yeah, you're in a battle royale game. It's video game rules. The water is dangerous. Don't go into the water." Like,
Yeah. Yeah, straight up. So I wonder what happens next, because it's like...
that's a big explosion.
Yeah, and like Hikari's... Hold on, how much time we got left on this?
Right before he grabs him, he said 5 seconds. He said, do I go up to the surface or what?
Yeah.
5 seconds left. Nope, I'm just about to turn up on it.
Yeah, and so I think Kashimo also knows, has obviously a really good idea of how much time is left, because he was able to time the exact point of it ending last time to do the Nyoibo zap. But so I think that Kashimo blows it up at the very end of that, 5 seconds. So it's like, damn, and Hikari barely survived the last time he timed this perfectly. You know what I mean? With it, he barely survived that. So like,
I don't know. It seemed like he might have timed it perfectly. I wouldn't put it past him, but it seemed to me like it just happened to be at the right point in time. Unless, he very well could have timed it perfectly.
Yeah.
But it was like Kashimo retrieved, cursed energy as electrical feedback along a chosen route through Hikari, and Hikari's round ended at that moment.
Yep.
I don't know.
And Kashimo definitely timed that. You know what I'm saying? Because Kashimo was like, I gotta figure out how to get through this 4 minutes and 11 seconds of immortality. So like that felt like a super 5-headed play from Kashimo back then in that chapter. And so this one,
he was,
yeah.
Well, he was on the energy like, I'll just kill you while you're unkillable. So I don't even know if he was trying to time it. I think it just seemed more like a little bit like happenstance.
Oh,
but he very well could be right, and he could have timed it perfectly.
Yeah, but I mean, like, okay, like let's say he did time it perfectly, then I definitely think that he's doing that again right now. Then, but if it was by chance the first time, then I think that it would be weird if by chance again he caught him at the moment of his immortality ending. I think it just feels better if he's just timing it himself. But yeah, I guess we don't know for sure. But
yeah, it's either the time thing or he's like, again in this chapter, just like, I'm gonna grab him right now and just release everything because he's whooping my ass underwater right now, and I can't, block his cursed energy imbued attacks as well while I'm trying to suppress my shit.
Right.
Because he said that himself after he got the kick. He's like, fuck, I can't block his attacks while I'm fucking suppressing my shit, similar to Nan, obviously.
Right. Yeah, I don't know.
Man. I think the explosion is because of the electricity stuff, because doesn't electrolysis like change the composition? So if he does enough of his like cursed energy, and he seems to be able to manipulate it pretty well. So if he's able to like do anything that causes like hydrogen and oxygen, the like H2O, to like separate, those are always going to be like explosives, because that's how we get like anything with hydrogen really is very explosive, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy because like as when Hikari like comes out of the comes out of his little like unconsciousness like floating, like where Kashimo thinks he's dead on page 15, when he comes out of that, it's another situation where Hikari is just landing back-to-back blows without any reciprocation from Kashimo. So he hasn't put any like new charges on him, from like hand-to-hand combat or whatever. So he's literally just grabbing him and then shooting his cursed energy out directly from his body, and since it's underwater, it's being like amplified or whatever is you're talking about with the electrolysis and shit, mellow and whatnot. So I don't think it's like a direct zap to Hikari. It's a direct zap to the water that is surrounding Hikari, and therefore would have to be like a bigger explosion since it's like not concentrated. And I feel like Hikari could just survive this easy, even though it's like a huge, spectacle. I feel like this is still, for some reason, my mind is telling me that it's not as, damaging as, like a point blank zap after placing charges or something.
It's still a really good move in my opinion because like he's like, well, I've directly attacked I've attacked your brain. I've literally poisoned you to death, attacking your brain indirectly. I've tried to like pull lightning straight through your rib cage, God of Thunder style.
Yeah.
What else do I need to do? Do I just need to make sure that like Lobo, not a single drop of blood of you remains? Like, what do I have to do to kill your ass?
Yeah, that's broken. Lobo can regenerate from a single drop of blood. That's fucking nuts.
And he's just like, fine, I won't leave you a body to regenerate with. Cool, I'm gonna explode the whole damn thing. And maybe the impact is like concentrated or lessened because it's all underwater.
Right, yeah, I'm thinking of like a situation where like the force of the explosion is like pushing Hikari like away from like any real damage because of like the water and like buoyancy and shit, and it's just like putting himself away from like the kill radius of this gigantic zap. I'm just really just crossing my fingers and hoping Hikari survives. This is me reaching for logic that will keep Hikari alive in this situation, because otherwise it feels like if his fucking invincibility just ran out at the time that he made this explosion, it's like how does Hikari even survive this? I feel like he's gonna be blown to fucking smithereens.
He still hasn't used a door.
Yeah, he still hasn't used like raw technique shit. Yeah.
So part of me is just like, does he just like walk out of a container and be like, whew, dodge that bullet? Like...
Yo, what if like he uses his, like, since he hasn't used his actual curse technique this entire fight, what if he survives this because he actually chose to use his technique this time to like block whatever it is that Kashimo is doing? I think that would be really cool, because it's like, what are you saving it for? Like back to back Hikari is dead cliffhangers and he doesn't use his technique either means he doesn't have access to it for one reason or another while he's in invincibility mode, which could be a thing, I guess. Or it's you're saving it for this moment.
Yeah, as a preference or something like that. And he's supposed to be like, he and Yuta are both supposed to be like Gojo's generational replacement. And so part of me really wants it to be like, I want him to succeed. I want him to survive and like maybe not beat him, at least run away.
Yeah.
Like,
I want both of them to live. I'm not gonna hold you.
Same.
No, yeah. But if one of them has to die, I don't want it to be Hikari.
So, Hikari has what? Bronze doors, silver doors, and gold doors?
I think so.
So copper and silver are two of the best conductors of electricity. So maybe if he'd use some doors to surround himself in a little box of doors,
yes,
he could separate himself from the electrified water.
You are on to something. If he uses the gold is like the most conductive, right? Yeah.
It says pure silver is the best conductor of electricity.
Yeah, so like if he like constructed some doors around him to block this this discharge that Kashimo uses at the end, and then like the doors like aren't touching him, but they're like like a couple like inches like away from his body on all sides, then all the electricity goes to the doors, and then the force of the explosion just sends him out of the water, and he doesn't actually take any electro damage because of the doors. That would be so fucking tight if we got the explanation for it like the way you said, Eagle. I totally think you're onto something right now.
Silver, gold, and copper are basically like top 3 conductive metals. So,
yeah, that's a prediction.
Yeah,
that is a very cool prediction.
But
now I can't wait even more.
I know, right? I definitely don't want to see Hikari die. He's definitely become one of my favorite characters very fast.
I love him.
We spent with him since his introduction.
Right.
But I want to see him have like nice, cute interactions with Karara a little more. because I'm like,
Yeah.
like they had like a
Yeah.
nice glimpse of their like interactions, and I just want to see a little more of that, just a
Yeah.
little more screen time, and then maybe you can tragically kill him. I get it. It's a story.
Dude, I haven't heard anybody talk about like the fact that Hikari's doors are, bronze, silver, and gold, and how that can interact with Kashimo's lightning. You're just like there's so many stimuli like in the fight like that you have to pay attention to, and that like
Mhm.
attracts your attention and whatnot.
Yeah.
Like, and since he hasn't used the technique, the entire time, it's easy to just like kind of like slip the mind. I bet you maybe somebody has said something somewhere, but I feel like I'd be like in the conversations a lot, and it's like no one has brought that up yet. I cannot wait to see if that's a thing, and if that is, you fucking killed the game on that. Jesus, I feel like that's the only way it has to go. I feel like that literally has to be what's happening here. Like dead serious. Like that is such a cool thought, idea, whatever. Oh man, I'm not gonna say I've never been more excited for the next Jujutsu Kaisen chapter, but like, what a prediction!
Great call.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think that's about all I had for this chapter, though.
yeah, I think I'm good too.
Same.
All right. Well, I think we can go ahead and get into the last chapter of the night, chapter 357 of Boku no Hero Academia.
Chevin.
Wounded hero, burning bright and true. Great chapter.
Major. Yeah.
I liked at the beginning of the chapter how we had I thought it was funny as fuck how we had all for one having like All Might PTSD.
Yeah.
He hasn't felt actual danger since then. He's like, wounded heroes are always the scariest. And then we get this badass like fucking I feel like we got a few of these like really berserk-esque panels of Endeavor this chapter, man. Like these really guts-esque.
They are kind of berserky. Yeah.
Especially the one on page 7, bro. Like of him just screaming like that.
Yeah.
Was some straight berserk shit, I thought. Like that's the first thing that came to mind when I saw that panel.
Yeah, plus with the glowing like, like white eyes or whatever with the like huge like it's like very eclipsy, like when he chops his fucking arm out of the demon's mouth to get to Casca.
Yeah.
Like that panel, it's super iconic panel from the eclipse. Yeah, I could feel that there.
Dude, I love the callback page for page 2 where he's because he's got a stump, right?
Yeah.
He is just creating this vortex of fire right where his stump is, and like he's going literal fire punch man.
This how Shanks is gonna steal off you with hockey when we finally see him fight.
Hey, but he blitzed the fuck out of All for One, bro. He was in his face expeditiously, bro.
Yeah, he got right up in there. And then Hawks, you're too slow with the point.
Yo, but
he's loving it.
Hawks, man, seeing that panel of Hawks was just so melancholy because we just look at his ragged ass, tattered ass, baby chick ass wing, bro. Like, he's a shell of what he used to be.
Yeah, for real.
He's all fucked up. And for like a character based off like Angel from X-Men, I was just thinking is like how important having those wings period would be. It'd be like, I don't know, if I had wings and I lost them, it would be like losing my legs.
Yeah.
I'd be like, how would I feel about that? And like the fact that the war has taken basically his legs, he's still doing it. I'm like, that's great. I love that, like, Endeavor, missing an arm, overheating, is just like, you know what? We're going all out. I don't expect to live. Let's, we came here to do the damn job. Let's do it.
Yes.
And I think even with, like, the title of the chapter itself is, like, the first time we really acknowledged Endeavor acting as a hero, right? Like throughout the series, we've always had him in a pretty negative light outside, like, a few mentoring things and like, I am a regretful adult in my middle-aged cell life. And it's just like, cool, but like, are you going to be better? And he's like, I hope to atone. I want to atone. This is my path. And like, the path to atonement isn't easy, nor is it kind or caring. And like, I think that like this is his hero moment. Like the fact that he's always been chasing the shadow of All for One, never reaching it, and in this chapter, he's like, "Oh, you give me the same feeling of danger as All for One."
All
Like
Might.
he's
All
All
Might.
Might. Yeah, sorry. All. That's
I waited for you to do it a second time. I was like, wait, could he be still talking about All for One, or did he mean All Might? And then you
I
said
meant
All for One
Might.
again, and I was like, no, he means All Might for
It's
sure.
the names.
Yeah,
It's like
for
it's
all,
tough.
all for one,
All Might.
Yeah.
It's tough. It's tough.
But yeah, no, like AFO is really scared of him. There we go. Jeez.
Yeah.
And then like Endeavor's like feeling the true comparison of like being All Might, even having like the the Camino fist pose thing going on, and I'm like, hey, you did it, and you're having a terrible time. You're finally a hero, but you're having a terrible time.
Yeah.
Good for you.
I think the grit, determination, and like sense of self that we see from Endeavor this chapter and kind of the previous one has been like great to see. Him finally somewhat conquering his inner demon after so long. Maybe now that he's finally kind of addressed the true issue within himself, he can actually start to make some real progress in mending the outer bridges that he's burned with his wrongdoings in terms of his family and his public image and all that other kind of shit, right?
Seems like there's less holding him back from like being like the number one hero that he always wanted himself to be, right? Because it's like he is here doing this right now, putting in the work, you know what I mean? And I like what you said about him, like kind of like having these new convictions inside of himself and his sense of self and all that you were saying. And I feel like now it's like the kind of the blinders are off and he can kind of just do what he's always needed to do, and he's doing it. He's doing it, boy.
Yeah. I hope to see some good things from Endeavor going forward if he survives the fight, that is, right? Because I always have kind of rooted for him as a character to get that redemption and become a good person, if that makes sense.
Man.
And also, what the fuck? Since when does this man have heat vision?
I mean, like, hey, if his quirk is fire, like obviously, like he can shoot it out of his feet, he can shoot it out of his hands, he can shoot it out of like in 360 degrees in the prominence burn and things like that.
Yeah.
It's like if they just wanted to wait to let us know that he could also shoot it out of his eyes, that's fine. Has he really been in a situation where he needs to? I don't really think so. But now that he's doing it, I remember thinking like, damn, when did he get heat? Like, when did he get this? And I was like, oh, it probably was just like always there, and like just like now you're showing it to us or whatever.
I'm sure it's really hard on the eyes.
Yeah, and it's gotta hurt a ton too. Yeah. Oh my god, are his
like a
eyes
last
bleeding?
ditch thing.
Yeah, I want to see his eyes after. His eyes look fucked on 12.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
On page like 10 even. Like,
oh yeah, you can see a little on 10 too.
Yeah, his eyes do not look great. He's like, I did it because I couldn't afford you touching me.
Yeah.
Like that's only reason.
Yeah. Shit seems broken too. There's probably got to be like an intense physical recoil caveat attached to it. Yeah.
Probably stings like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
The part that I thought was really interesting on page 10, he's talking about like the future is a path for the young, a path of so many branching choices. And the part that he gets nostalgic is a scene that he was literally there for when Shoto retook the license test, and he got to show off his quirk and show like a very benign side of his quirk, entertaining children. And I think that resonated with Endeavor way more than he ever let on initially. And he's like, man, that's who I probably should have been. Like, this kid's already beaten me. You know what I mean? Like, my kid's a better person than I am. Straight up. From this interaction alone, I'm just like, when did I become so jaded? That kind of moment. You know, when you take a step back and you're like, outside of doing what I feel like I have to do, what have I done that's like kind or open or like not the job? Right. This guy's a workaholic in his during a middle life crisis, and he's like really looking at, his son is in like a nostalgic light. Like he's like, you know what? I'm probably gonna not live very long, but like my legacy wasn't all that bad.
Yeah.
Like at least there was like the bright spots.
Oh yeah.
Well, is it just me, or is this like on page 10, in the panel where we get my past won't stand in their way. Why does it feel like Todoroki's like older?
I think he's like looking at, I think this is like his future vision of the next generation.
Yeah.
And he's like,
it seems like Todoroki's kind of older and everybody else back here is kind of like older a little bit. Their costumes kind of seem a little different.
Yeah,
I remember.
You can see like the wrist guards on Bakugo. They're more streamlined, like a classic like tear gas grenade, as opposed to like a pineapple old school like debris grenade. You know,
fragmentation.
Yeah, that old pineapple style.
I remember,
and you can even see like Deku's like cape is repaired. You can see the seam where it's super tattered and was like this half cowl, and he's added back onto it.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I see that. Yeah.
Yeah, where his outfit looks clean. I really like, our Crimson Riot, our Red Riot kind of counterpart looking like his, original, like, mentor figure, his idol.
Crimson Riot.
And I'm like, the coat, man. Yeah. It's like, I love it.
Yeah, this is definitely like his future sight for like the next generations. Like I can't prevent that from happening, and then he like sees them, graduated in the future, older, like being the next generation. Yeah, I think that's definitely what it is. I remember when this panel came out in the spoilers on the timeline, this panel kind of like shook the streets up a little bit. They were like, are they older? Is this, I don't know what they thought it was, but I don't think anybody like realized that this was like a mental like image of
projection.
Yeah, like from Endeavor or whatever at the time, because it was literally just like this panel in a vacuum or whatever. And so people were like, holy shit, what does this mean? And it's like, oh damn. Even me for a second, I was like, wait a minute, what is going on? I don't think I was like thinking like, did we get a time skip or like anything like that? Maybe some people did think that. I don't know, but I remember people were making a commotion about this panel in the spoilers when they came out.
I just dig the fact that, like, if you zoom in on Bakugo's head, his, like, the little tassels that he had for his bandana have become, like, braids. And so they look like wicks with the tufts of hair sticking out. I'm like, long hair Bakugo, yeah.
I don't know why when I saw that, I noticed that too, and I was like, they look like Chinese finger traps. And it's just like, no, they're fucking wicks, dude. He's a fucking bomb guy.
He got braided hairs into a wick, and I'm like, that's aesthetic, baby. I love that stuff.
Yeah, that's so good.
Yeah, that was a great spot on Bakugo's costume for sure. The wicks and then also the tear gas kind of like the change in his grenade design on his wrists. Yeah.
Less lethal.
So good.
It almost makes me want to go back to the last time we saw him and look what his grenade things look like now, just to confirm this is future.
I was just thinking that too.
Let me know in the comments, because
I'm trying to see that shit. But yeah, he fucking grabs this motherfucker, bear hugs him, and prominence burns himself. The splash page is like so like, obviously it's just like filled with a bunch of like stark whites or whatever, but it's like effective with like, the burn and the focal point and whatnot, and then like, the screen tones and like the particle effects of the explosion along like the outer perimeters or closer to the edges of the page and whatnot. I turned into that and I was like, yeah, I feel that heat. I feel that heat. And then you turn the page and he's just like crumbling into dust, and I was like, oh shit, they got his ass for real. And then it's like, we've already confirmed that he doesn't have hyper regen, and I was like, we got him. And then you turn the fucking page and it's like, nah, because a wounded villain is just as scary as a wounded hero. And it's like, oh no, you brought it back to that. And it's like totally time for a line of dialogue like that at the end of the chapter. It's just like perfect loop back to the beginning, like, because I was at the beginning of the chapter, I was like, man, this dude is he's like, oh, he's scared now. He remembering that All Might. Yep. Don't fuck with a wounded animal. You know what I'm saying? A cornered animal or whatever is a lot more vicious and shit. Like, you always hear shit like that or whatever. And it's like, yeah, when it's applied to the hero, it's like, yeah, you better count your days all for one. But it's like, oh no, he's wounded and backed into a corner too. And it's like, you could totally apply that to him as well. And he does at the end. And I'm like, oh, Kohei, that's so good.
I think it's crazy that like, cause like I'm really happy with this reveal and how it works because it touches on like what a lot of people complain to be the plot hole of Eri and Overhaul, and so like Shigaraki ruined Overhaul. Great, he doesn't, and like he got rid of Overhaul, but he stole those bullets, and I've been waiting for those bullets to come into play for so long. It's not even quirk erasing bullets; they're just time reversal bullets,
Yeah.
basically. And like so, applying it, and I love that he's using them as a buff because he's been so fucked up being like a blind potato head. Like they gave him back his eyes. He used the entire stockpile of bullets to go back in time to when he's in a much better position. So like
Oh, I didn't even think about that. I had like no idea what to think about like this last page of All for One where he's got the eye and ear sprouting and is like regening or
yeah,
whatever.
he's
I didn't
thought
even think about that at all. Oh my
I mean
god.
think about
I
how
don't
many years it's been since
Yeah.
All for One and All Might fought. Like, was it 5 years ago at the beginning of the series? He when they're like he fought toxic chainsaw and got wounded, has that big old scar, and it's like it was All for One, man.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
well, he I don't know. I don't know that he necessarily just used all the bullets. I think
Yeah.
and I don't
It's
and
definitely
somebody
not
brought this up in
confirmed, but yeah.
somebody
Yeah.
brought this up in the Twitch chat when I was doing my reaction on Twitch for this week's issue.
hmm
And I think what happened is that the doctor, I can't remember his name, but obviously, like you said, Shigaraki,
Uchiko,
yeah,
right? Yeah.
yeah, Shigaraki obviously took the bullets from Overhaul, and you know the doctor very easily could have used those bullets to just reverse engineer Ares' quirk and give it to All for One.
Oh.
mm,
You know what I
maybe.
mean?
Oh, yeah.
Because the bullets at the end of the day were just like a scientific invention that was like Ares' quirk engineered into a bullet that would hit you and fucking specifically target your like genetics to bring them
Reverse
back in time to the point where you don't
have a
have a
quirk.
quirk any
Right.
longer.
Right.
And
Yeah.
so he could have very easily just taken that, bullet and just reverse engineered it. He knew so much about quirks and the science behind them. He could have taken
Mhm.
that and just reverse engineered it back to a quirk that All for One takes. Now
Yeah.
he has that in his reservoir.
So then I guess the
Or in his-
question is why wait until now to use it and not just like use it then and become the best version of yourself before this fight even started? I guess an answer to that question would be because it's volatile and you have to like train it maybe and like he doesn't know like he could blow it and like reverse too much time inside of himself or something like that. But I mean at the end of the day you're like over 100 years old or some shit. So it's like are you really that
Mhm.
worried? Like, are you really that worried in the practicing process that you're going to rewind too far? I don't know. I feel like you got like way more, maybe even more than
I
100
just
years on
Well,
the planet or whatever. Yeah.
he already has like kind of the Shigaraki plan in the bag. Like he's already transferred most of his consciousness
Oh
and
yeah,
powers
yeah,
over to Shigaraki. He says it himself on page 13 here. He's like, do you think I'd casually saunter up to the big finale empty-handed? This body has already served its purpose and it was destined for the scrap heap anyway.
So why
So
not
why
try
not
this
try this
out?
out
Yeah,
now
yeah,
that I'm like, we're in this big battle. Like if I can take out Endeavor and Hawks and everybody here,
yeah,
and I still got Shigaraki in the bag, then I just transfer my consciousness fully. Now
yeah.
I'm here, bitch. What's
Yeah,
up?
so I think that does answer that question of why he didn't use it until this point is because it was something that had to be trained and he like didn't have the time or whatever to like actually like figure, the quirk out, inside of himself and was just like, hey, if when the chips are down, if I really need this, I can literally just put all of my eggs into this basket and see what happens and at the end of the day, heroes don't have a monopoly on big sacrificial moments, blah 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 and he's just like, fuck it, let's try it, you know what I mean? So I definitely think that it's exactly what you're saying, Eagle.
And it probably has, like you said, he's been alive a long, long time.
Yeah.
It's probably going to reverse his quirk repertoire, to whatever point it brings him back to. But if he's been
6 years
alive
ago.
500 years
Yeah.
and the injuries that he has in terms of his what we know now have only been existing for 5-6 years.
Yeah.
Mhm.
If he lands at any point in the previous 495 years before that,
Yeah.
it doesn't really matter.
Right.
So we
Mhm.
might see like a prime fucking All for One
Oh
next
my
chapter.
god, dude, that'd be so insane.
it just gets worse and worse. And
Yeah,
I
it
love
really
that.
does.
But
Yeah.
like, this was a great reveal to me. I loved
Yeah,
this.
that's so
Like,
tight.
it had a lot of payoff for me, and I appreciate that. It
Yeah.
wasn't like
I'm getting the reveal right now. I didn't think about this shit at all. I had no like this shit
Hey,
completely like went over my head. I feel like kind of like dumb right now, honestly. I was like, wait, what is he talking about? What do you mean try this out? And it's like shows Eri right there with the bullets, and it's I
yeah.
still couldn't put it together. So yeah, exactly.
Can't win them all.
It definitely sprung on me in the reaction. I was like, hold on, why is Eri showing up here? Like, is Eri about to come into play? Is he gonna fuck with Eri? Or
Yeah.
and then somebody kind of clarified it for me, like, nah, they had the bullets. The doctor probably reverse engineered it. I'm like, oh yeah.
Well, I like that they had it, you know? Like,
Yeah.
that was such a cool thing in the series, and it shook up a lot of stuff, but then they never really touched on it again. And I think it's specifically so that this reveal would have more impact, right? It wasn't really like, Horikoshi forgot about this. No, has a lot of stuff, but you know this guy is fairly meticulous about a lot of things.
He's a
Like,
professional now. Don't.
yeah, right? Like,
Wait, hold on, wait. What? I'm sorry, I kind of like zoned out for a second. What did Mello say that made you say that, Eagle?
He was talking about how people are like, claiming the Horikoshi forgot about plot lines. Oh, he forgot about the bullets, this, that, and the third. Like, this man is a professional. Like,
Yeah.
he's fucking cooking. He's serialized by literally the most prominent manga fucking publicizer.
Yeah,
in
and
the
he
world.
survived the axe, and it's like we're on almost 400 chapters. It's like, dude knows what he's doing for sure, absolutely. And I remember,
Let
they've
these
got
mangaka
to-
cook. Man.
Yeah,
They
exactly.
got it,
Seriously.
bro.
Someone just said it like the other day on Twitter too. It's like these mangaka are not on our timetable. You know what I'm saying? Just because you think it's been too long since they've revisited a plot point doesn't mean that the mangaka must have just forgotten about it. You don't know when they're planning to deliver that back to us.
They
you know
got
what I
more
mean?
in
Or
their
when they're ready
bag.
to loop
We've
back to
only
it.
seen what they have in store.
Yeah,
You know, like
yeah.
you gotta have some respect for the people that are putting out the content that you consume.
Right, exactly.
Like,
It's just the weekly, on the pulse, like, like you're constantly talking about it, you're constantly arguing about it, and then, someone brings up, like, when was the last time we saw this? And it's like, oh, man, yeah, I guess it has been a while. And it's like, did
That
you
was a
forget
year
about
ago.
that? Horikoshi's a
Now,
fraud.
Horikoshi sucks.
Yeah, it's like,
You
wait
got
a
people
minute.
you got people who have hated on the series from the beginning for whatever fucking reason. I don't see any point in that. Like, if you don't
Yeah.
like something, leave it at that. There's no need to sit in here and
Yeah, you're
on
following
social
it
media.
for
This
400
fucking shit sucks.
chapters.
Oh, it's nothing compared to this. Like, yo, stay in your lane. Let
Yeah.
people vibe, do their thing. Who cares? Like, who gives a shit?
Yeah.
But you got those people sitting here ragging on it, like, yeah, Steve sucks. Like, he forgot about this. This is the plot hole.
Yeah.
It's like,
They thought they thought he forgot about the traitor.
The traitor.
the traitor.
And he did
Even
a
when he didn't.
zigzag.
Even when he didn't, because it wasn't what they had in mind. They're like, hey, this fucking sucks.
Yeah.
Wow, so
Yeah.
garbage.
It's like, okay, so your first complaint about him forgetting about it didn't work, so now you have to, flame the actual execution of it since you feel
Always
feel
moving
silly
goalposts.
now. So like you gotta stick to your, you gotta find something else, to
This is
justify.
the
your
hill you chose to
complaints.
die on, apparently.
Right. Then die.
Like on some like,
Don't you think I'm gonna argue with you?
like,
I'm
no.
just gonna like something else and keep scrolling, bud. Like, man, because like I remember when Twitter had their ankles fucking broken when he was like,
Yeah.
Invisible Girl. Oh, we called it. Everyone, of course, use the character that no one gives a shit about. And then it was Aoyama, and they're like, God damn it, we all look like idiots. And I'm like, yes, be idiots.
And then they find another reason to complain. Oh wow, so it's Aoyama, like wow.
It's like you weren't gonna like it no matter what. Like just admit that.
Can y'all be
Aoyama was
like at all?
amazing.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Right.
Aoyama was amazing. They turned a joke character, sat on the tragedy of that character's existence, the entire series for 300 plus chapters, and then we're like, yeah, here we go. And I'm like, I feel for this kid. You turned this joke relief character. It was like, it'd be like me crying over Mineta. I never would have seen it coming, right? Like,
Right, type shit. Yeah.
like I was just like, yeah, no, this is the guy. Like,
Yeah. I think that reveal twist,
Amazing.
zigzag back and forth reveal shit was like beautiful, and I'll always like laugh at the community for that because that was just like so funny to watch happen in real time. I was like, he really crossed y'all's ankles crazy.
I watched people collapse.
Yeah, shit
I
was
remember so
fucking
many deleted
hilarious.
tweets. It was hilarious.
Oh yeah, people were in our comments section because we were flaming the people that like, you know, complained about it, and that someone hit like some like really like aggressive, like you got it. Like I don't even remember what it was, but I remember being like, damn, so you were one of them, huh? And then they deleted the shit.
Home, huh?
Yeah, they deleted the comment or whatever, and I was just like, damn, bro.
Dude,
Everyone's a thug until tweets aren't loading at the you know what I'm saying? Or whatever exactly. That meme is, yeah.
Whack as fuck.
Exactly. And it's like shoot, people talk so much crap. It's amazing because like it's like when people were saying like, oh, Mello, do you purposely mispronounce these things? And I'm like, I'm not Japanese. I don't know how to pronounce shit,
I
dude.
remember that too. I remember just being like,
immediately deleted. I was kind to them too. I was just like, oh yeah, no, hey man, I don't have time for that. I'm just saying things, sounding it out, bro. Like,
why would we purposely mispronounce anything?
Yeah, that's me. I got you. I made you idiots think that was pronunciation.
Yeah, like that's just weird. Like, why would someone do that on purpose? Though. Like, what point does that? Anyway, back to the chapter. Yeah, and then okay, so he does that, and then the first is like, hey, yo, I got a bad feeling about this. Oh my god, like how close is Deku to this right now? I feel like he's been fucking flying for like 3 fights towards this whatever location he's going to, and it's like, oh man, like what is he about to pull up on?
Well, what if he's reverted himself back to the point where like him and the first were still alive?
No,
you don't know. I want to see where he hits the sliding.
Yeah, he's like, wait a minute, this is the version of my brother that was like, you know, the most violent, the most crazy. This is like not good, man. Like this is the worst version of All for One possible that just woke up right now.
Yeah, so that would be really interesting because then, like, what if they defeat Shigaraki becomes defeated eventually, and then they're like, people are like, oh, AFO wasn't the real big bad. He was always propping up Shigaraki, and then after this like time reversal, it really is just AFO big bad at the end. You thought. You know?
I definitely want Shigaraki to, man, I don't know, the story
I don't know what I want.
So many ways.
I'm just excited to find out.
I just feel like I don't know, I want Shigaraki to be more, you know, relevant as a final boss than he kind of like has been since All for One kind of like reintroduced himself as, you know, the puppet, you know, master string puller, you know, kind of situation, like coming out of the Paranormal Liberation Front War. And it's like, oh man, like nah, like Shigaraki was so good as like the main bad guy in Paranormal Liberation Front War, and it's like I don't want him to be like shelved for the sake of like All for One after so much fucking like character work and build up and yada yada. But like it could work either way, you know what I mean? I don't know like which one I prefer. Obviously Horikoshi's gonna write the shit out of it no matter what, but just based on like expectations, it's like I thought Shigaraki would be, you know, a little bit more prominent, more involved, more prominent. Yeah, but I mean, like All for One's been great for me since he's been, you know, the focus. So can't really complain too much anyway. So
I just think it's interesting when people like seem to hate on specific types of villains, and I'm just like, but like AFO seems like intertwined with so many characters that having him play the spider feels to me very satisfying. As opposed to like some of the reveals that I get in other series. I'm not gonna say them.
Yeah.
I'm talking enough shit today, you know. I've hit my quota. I don't need to.
So, what about the dots here? What do we think the dots are? Maybe.
Oh man, I didn't even think about
flyers.
That. I didn't even think about
Star
that.
and Stripes Jets, the squad, more American heroes pulling up maybe now. After Star and Stripe died, they now we're on some American shit. Oh, we got to avenge our fucking #1 hero.
Could be something like that. That'd be tight. It could be the United Nations pulling up. It could be a fucking like, you know, American hero. Goddamn. Yeah, American hero, Indian hero, Chinese hero.
Yeah. Hey kid, you need a lift.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Could be some shit like that. I think that'd be pretty fucking cool.
I mean, this one was the Danger Sense one, right? No, it's the first.
Yeah, it's the very first one.
So he's reacting to AFO kind of returning to like a prime form.
Yeah.
Um,
So he's at the top right of the page. It's him reacting to what All for One is doing, and then the next panel is him talking to Midoriya about that. And then the panel in the middle underneath that is a new situation that Deku is noticing in the last panel that I don't think has anything to do with what they're talking
one of
about.
the previous ones.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's reinforcements, because if there's a time to get it, it's now.
United Nations would be drastic as fuck, bro. If we like start the next chapter and it's just like huge splash page or like double page spread of like just a bunch of different countries' heroes, I'll probably shit my pants.
What if it's
tight as fuck?
That'd be so sick. Yeah.
I think it would be Stars and Stripes squad, and then maybe that one Egyptian hero that's like
a hieroglyphic.
The hieroglyphic dude, and he's just like, who gives a shit about the red tape? We gotta do this.
Didn't he have paper for a quirk or something like that?
Papyrus or some shit. Yeah.
Papyrus.
I don't even remember if that's what it was.
Just a woof.
Yeah. Oh
like
my
a Da Vinci
God.
flyer.
That just reminded me of the Ryan Gosling SNL skit about Avatar's use of papyrus in the logo, the papyrus font. Oh my God, that shit is so funny. Anyway, if you've seen that, hit me in the comments and be like, I'm with you on that. That's a funny ass skit, man. But yeah. Papyrus. Is that their name, or is that the name of their quirk? Like I remember that word. I thought
no, they had like a paper quirk. I think if I remember.
Yeah, it's their quirk. I don't remember their name, to be honest.
I'm
but
just
they're
typing
like
in
so-and-so quirk papyrus.
Oh, papyrus is the quirk used by Salam. Okay, yeah, so quirk is papyrus. Yo, wait a minute. What is this? Wait, papyrus has been animated? If I Google search papyrus MHA and then I went to the wiki and there's like a GIF of this motherfucker running through the city with some heroes next to him, Mineta and Gunhead or some shit. Oh my God, that movement is fucking sending me. Do you guys see that on the fucking wiki?
No.
Oh God, I'll hold on. I gotta put it in somewhere. I can't put it into the Discord call from my computer. Otherwise.
He was in a movie.
Oh, he was in a movie.
Heroes Mission.
Cool.
It says it right there. Anime debut, World Heroes Mission. Okay, yeah.
Oh, I see it. Oh my God.
Yo, that's so funny. Oh
Dude,
my God.
He reminds me of Elastic Man, like.
Plastic Man. Yeah,
Plastic
or
Man,
or Elongated Man.
thinking...
I don't know. DC has a couple of
them.
Yeah,
but it made me think of like a 2D version of like Rubber Band Man kind of thing, where it's just like do 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 do.
Yeah.
Man, that's great. I'm glad that they like reference characters from the movies. I've personally never watched any of them. I was thinking about doing it after the series completed and then kind of like watching the side stuff to see what that's all about. But that's just me reading Rainbow.
Yeah, for sure. I remember watching like one of these movies one time, like in a Discord server or something like that. I wasn't really paying attention, but like I looked up like, at the end with the big Sakuga happening, and I was like, wow. And then just like went back to like texting or whatever. I don't really care for the My Hero movies personally. But
fair enough.
I found his GIF. I'm fucking dead.
Yeah, you see it now?
Yeah.
Funny as hell.
I mean, yeah. I love Kamui Woods though. They're like, hey, here's our chance to do the thing. And he's like, no, we need to get out of here. Endeavor's coming.
Yes.
Collateral damage.
Just like
everybody
they're
out.
They're just kind of picking up the little scraps of the little fucko villains, and all of a sudden
those are out.
They're like, oh shit, there's that buddy. He's like, nah, bro.
Yeah.
Yo, and Kamui Woods gets out of there and pulls one dude with him, but like, yo, there's like 2-3 of these motherfuckers that are getting fried, bro. Like back here under Kamui Woods, you see these 2 motherfuckers that are just getting evaporated.
Yeah.
And then there's this third dude off to the right that he's just, bro, he's got 3rd-degree burns all up his fucking back and shit, skin grafts.
He's definitely going to need, I was just about to say, he's definitely going to need a skin graft or 2.
Hope that dude has an aloe quirk.
Bro, bro, that's funny as shit. But imagine like the heat, man. Like I'm looking at this page 7, top right panel on page 7, where coming out of like the dunk at the bottom of page 6. And like just like explosive heat drawings like stacked on top of each other at the bottom of 6, and then you go to 7 and it's just like underneath it all like it's just like, yo dude, how hot is it right there?
Oh, I feel like if I was too close to that, my eyebrows would just ignite.
Yeah, like dude, like holy shit, like this is way too close to other people. Like this has got to be like some of the most intense heat that like has ever been created.
Output.
Yeah, like output.
Or are you talking about the like layers? I think that's the shields that All for One puts out.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, yeah, because he definitely does that thing. And I remember him having the ability that he could like warp air because he could do like pressurized air blasts.
Yeah, like air cannon from the palm or whatever.
Yeah, so him like creating bubbles or something like that.
I mean, I feel like if you if you're putting like air cannon up against like this big of like heat discharges or fire discharges, I feel like that's just gonna make the flames worse, my G. Like I feel like
oh yeah, like igniting pockets of oxygen, that kind of thing.
Type shit. Yeah. Anyway, what were you saying, Eagle?
Well, we see this barrier quirk he was using on just page 1 to block the attack from last chapter. So I think it's probably just some more of that, like stacked on top.
It definitely is too, because if you go back to page 7, you know, Endeavor's on top of him and he's like and then a Kamui Wood says above all else, and then the panel underneath that fucking like barrier is literally like breaking like glass,
shattered
as fucking Endeavor grabs him by the fucking like collar and shit. Yeah, you're totally
drags his ass.
Yeah, you are absolutely correct, sir.
Amazing.
Yeah, I don't think I had anything else for My Hero this week.
Yeah, I think that's about it for me too.
Hell yeah.
Shout out to I-beams.
Yeah, those I-beams were dope. Fuck yeah.
Well, I think that'll do it for My Hero tonight, and I think that will do it for this episode of the Project Manga Podcast. Thank you all so much for watching. If you did, be sure to slap a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed it. You know, more fire weekly content coming out every week. Leave a comment down below. Let us know what you thought of this week in Weekly Shonen Jump. You know, any points you thought we might have missed, just chop us up with us down there in general. Also, let us know what series you want added to the roster for coverage. We need a 6th one. So yeah, be sure to do that again and again. And also, while you're down there, take a look at the description box. Find links to any and all of our individual social media accounts like Twitter, online communities like Discord, and audio listening platforms to consume the podcast on. And if you want to support the show even more than you do by just watching our podcast, then you can find the link to our Patreon down there as well. So check that out. And with all that said, this will be another stupendous episode of the Project Manga Podcast wrapping up. I'm your host, Eagle
Knox.
I'm Mellow Yenis.
Peace.